The stakes are raised as section play begins this evening in the 6A East Valley as the Williamsfield Blackhawks travel to Red Mountain High School at Jim Jones Field to take on the Red Mountain Mountain Lions. Greetings and welcome everyone. Alongside Chris Andriotis, I'm Zach Warhack, and a big game tonight to open section play. As I mentioned, these games just mean a little bit more between these two teams, and a sour taste left in Red Mountain's mouth after losing this matchup last year, but injuries play a big role in that one.
Absolutely. They lost their quarterback last year early in the game, ended up losing 28-7, had some turnovers there. So looking to get some redemption this time around for the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, Carter Crispin now graduated, and Kyle Heap had to step into that game. He'll be a no-go tonight with some shoulder soreness. That a couple of plays he had last week contributed to that. But looking at the side of Williamsfield, coached by Steve Campbell, he's a guy who's been there since the inception of this program, all the way since 2008.
Yeah, they do a great job. He has a system. The players know the system to come up through the youth. And they do a great job. They're a well-coached football team, very physical as well.
Right now, Williamsfield has just been in the 6A East Valley, formerly 6A Fiesta, for a few years. This will be the fourth matchup between these two teams. Williamsfield, they hold the record 2-1 over Red Mountain right now, a small sample size. But when you look at the contributing factor of what Williamsfield have, it comes to the ground game, and a guy like Dylan Lee, who is someone I want to highlight as the player of the game for Williamsfield.
Yeah, he's an Iowa State commit. Heck of a football player. He's averaging over 150 yards per game on the ground. The key is him. If Red Mountain's able to have success, then it'll be by stopping him.
Already 9 touchdowns on the ground this season as well. You mentioned Iowa State. They love their products out of Arizona. We see last night on Thursday Night Football, a guy Brock Purdy from Perry to Iowa State, now in the NFL. On the flip side of things, when you talk about stopping the run, I think the focal point has to be someone like Champ Jennings defensively for Red Mountain.
Yeah, he's going to have to continue to play as well as he's been playing. He's been lights out so far this year, leading the team in tackles, and I think they expect that to continue tonight as well.
When you look offensively on that side of the ball for Red Mountain, Simon Lopez, he has the green light. He's going to be the guy all night tonight. We know last week Kyle Heap got a couple series and produced very well, but with that shoulder still being a little bit tight, it's going to be all Simon Lopez, not only doing it through the air, but with his legs as well.
Yep, and he's done a great job being a dual threat so far this year. I imagine that to continue, and we'll see what happens. I'm excited.
It's going to be a good matchup coming up here on RMTV. We got everything highlighted on the pregame. We'll see what happens with the coin toss, who gets the kickoff. Everything coming up next on RMTV.
All right.
Now taking the field, the visiting Williamsfield Blackhawks. the coin toss at 30 seconds for the Wild. For the Williamsville Blackhawks, number 2, Trayshawn Shorty. Number 17, Andre Smith. Number 23, Adrian Gardine. And number 27, Gary Rodriguez. Captains for Red Mountain today, number 7, Kyle Heath. Number 26, Nathan Smith. Number 33, Carson Mauder. And number 50, Seth Barron. Williamsfield won the toss. They will defer to the second half. Red Mountain elects to receive the kickoff. Williamsfield elects to defend the north goal in the first quarter. Check that, the south goal in the first quarter. Red Mountain's top season sponsor is Weather Masters, family owned and operated since 1983. Plumbing, AC, and water treatment specialists.
Greetings and welcome back. Alongside Chris Andriotis, I'm Zach Warhack, and the formalities are all over with. The coin toss has been flipped. Williamsfield win. They elect to defer, give the ball to Red Mountain to start the game, and something that's been a strategy that we've seen adopted more and more is getting the ball in the second half. You want it. What kind of advantage does that give you as a team for head coach Steve Campbell of Williamsfield?
Yeah, it just allows you to get a feel for what they're going to do in the first half and have a plan. You make your corrections, your adjustments at halftime, so you get to come out and get the ball right away and get to work and set the tone for the second half. I think that's the thought process.
Definitely a different feel to this game. The aura just surrounding everything, it's more intense, and both of these teams undefeated in the state of Arizona. We know Red Mountain, they lose that game on the road in California, but Williamsfield 4-0 to start the season. Couple tough opponents. They take down the likes of Brophy, Desert Vista. They beat 35-0 in that game, so a true test for Red Mountain tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's opening a region play. So this is a crucial game for both squads, so this is going to be a great one. I'm excited.
It means a lot for the standings, and both teams have been preparing all week. They're ready to go, and Red Mountain on the field set and ready to return this kickoff. And excitement all the way around in special teams as they've been dynamic throughout the year. We'll see if they get a chance to bring this one back on the opening kickoff, but the sidelines are ready to go. Kyle Enders already barking out commands to his special teams unit, and we are set and ready to get underway on RMTV.
Noticing a little different alignment tonight. They have, looks like 3 returners back deep. Wonder if that is a setup for something.
And Brooks Rodenbaugh kicks this one off. Gunnar Moore just lets it go in the end zone. And now we get the first look at this Red Mountain offense as Simon Lopez trots out to the field, coming off a nice game against Westwood, 9 of 12, 198 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Also that touchdown on the ground for Simon Lopez.
Yeah, he played really well last week. I think it's key, as every week, you want to get some rhythm throws, some quick, easy throws to your quarterback, get him feeling good about the way he's throwing the football, and get the receivers involved early.
A big injury to highlight early already for Red Mountain. George Perkins, he'll be out of this game at the running back position. We know it's been running back by committee for a portion of this season for Red Mountain. Talon Lamb gets the start, and the first carry of the game is play action as Lopez keeps and gets it to Bodie Wagner for a pickup of a first down as he scoots all the way out to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it was a nice play. They motioned him across.
Tackle, number 8, Deion Roberts,
get him
number
up in
11,
the flat there, and he
Dylan
turned out with a
Fortune.
nice little yak.
Gain of 13 and a back down to it. First down at the 33.
Bodie Wagner, highly targeted last game, had a huge one against Westwood. 5 receptions, 3 touchdowns to go along with those 5 catches. So 1 play and a first down picked up for the Red Mountain offense. Now Wagner in motion as he scoots out of the backfield. This time Lamb does get the carry and is swallowed up immediately at the line, brought down by Adrian Dahlin.
Yeah, the guy to watch on the Williamsfield defensive front is number 99, Dante Martin. He's the man in the middle there, and he is a stout run defender, so he'll be tough to block for the outlines tonight.
Martin, a senior and a big body, able to close the gaps really well, and the Williamsfield defense does so efficiently on first down. Lopez rolls to his right and throws it away.
Lopez
Intended target Gunnar
incomplete.
Moore, unable to get it, and now that brings up a 3rd down and 10. So after picking up the first down on the first play of the game, the Williams Field defense has settled in, and that's something that head coach Steve Campbell, well known for, giving different looks to Simon Lopez early.
Yeah, and I think in that one he took his eyes off, got his eyes on the defender there for a minute and wasn't looking downfield, and that's why when he snapped back, he overthrew it just a little bit.
Good coverage on the outside that time by Holden Nichols and Trayshawn Shorty. As 5 seconds left on the play clock, Lopez waiting to get this one off. Does he beat the clock? He just does. Lopez evades pressure and doesn't have quite enough to pick up the first down as he stops short. So decision time early for Kyle Enders. Close to midfield and only a yard to pick up the first down.
Gain of 8, 4th down and 2 at the 41.
They're going to go. Got to love the aggressiveness early on.
Offense stays on the field as Lopez gets everything set up and ready to go. 4th and 2 from their own 41. And Lopez gives the trickery and punts it away, and that'll set up good field position for the Red Mountain defense as this one rolls down to the 16. It'll be touchdown by Gunnar Moore, and I think a smart play, maybe not something where you need to take that big risk early on in the game when you're on your own side of the field.
Absolutely, they call that the quick kick. It's not, as long as you have a quarterback that has the ability to do it, which in this instance does, it's a great kick. Just a quick get the ball out of there and not let them slip a return.
So it'll now be the first look of the Williams Field offense, who has been dynamic early on the year. Cody Guy in at quarterback and flanked next to a top 5 rusher in the state of Arizona, Dylan Lee. Flag flies early before Williams Field can even get a play off, and we await the call.
Single procedure against the Blackhawks, 5-yard penalty.
So referee Joel Sawald gets his first call of the game to get comfortable and into it, and that backs him up 5.
An inauspicious start for Williams Field.
Down at the bottom of the screen, Castaneda backs up and Motter has the coverage, and it's a pass from Guy early and just out of the arms of Cameron Cook. And Cameron Cook, one of those receivers for Williams Field, an absolute burner. He had an 84-yard touchdown last week against Desert Ridge, and he can really fly.
Yeah, he's the deep threat, and I think they definitely want to get him involved early. I think they were trying to set that up there.
A little bit of a change of a look offensively for Williams Field as they show pass game early when they've had such an efficient running game all season. And it's those little tricks that you see pulled out once you get to section play. This time the pass is good and the yards after catch get through the original line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
And that's a lot of times when you have a long situation, you're just trying to get to a manageable 3rd down, and they were able to do that there. You can't get it all.
Third down and 7 to the 20. Let's make some noise.
Kirchner on the reception, looked good with the yards after catch, and now an opportunity for Red Mountain's defense to get off the field early. Just over 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. Each team has had a possession. Williams Field still currently on their first. 3rd straight pass of this drive out to the sticks and a pickup for a first down. On the far side of the field, Joshua Sandrew, the senior, gets his first reception of the night, and that moves the chains for Williams Field.
That was a tough contested catch right there. The defender was all over him, and he was able to come down with the football. That was pretty impressive.
That's where Sandrew really makes his money. 6'4", 195, a big body receiver who can really fend off DBs who can't size up against him, as they have Castaneda set up over there for this play, 1st and 10. First run of the night now, and Dylan Lee tries to get the edge, and a good closeout by Red Mountain to stop any big gain, and that's going to be the story of the night defensively for them, having to give different looks in the run game to be able to slow down anything that Dylan Lee can do.
Yeah, one of the things you can key on is
4
watch
yard
the
gain, second and 6,
defensive
ball
line
to
for Red
35.
Mountain. They're going to do some stemming tonight. They did it on the first play where they come up and shift at the last second, try to mess with Williams Field's blocking schemes.
That's something where it can kind of switch up the schemes, like you say. Also, sometimes able to draw a false start in the penalty. When you show that motion early on, it can get everybody a little bit antsy on the front of the line. This time, Guy keeps and tucks it and runs out across the 40 as he keeps it himself, and it brings up third down and short.
And that's something to think about for Williams Field in the boot game as well, is that whenever they're faking a handoff to Dylan Lee, the defense is definitely going to set their attention there. So he might have some opportunities to run the ball on bootlegs and play actions going forward.
It makes it so challenging for a defense when there's so many weapons on the offensive side of things. We talked about Cody Guy earlier on. He struggled with turnovers in the first couple of the games of the season. He had 4 interceptions in his first 2 games, but since then he's been sound in the previous 2. Guy gives this time, and the penetration in the backfield is there. Jameson Wade, the first man on the tackle, and a big stop by that linebacking core of Red Mountain on third down.
That was some stout run defense right there. Swarming again with that linebacker core.
With that, Wade picks up his 34th tackle of the season, and we always talk about him and Champ Jennings as they're kind of the spearhead of this linebacking core. And now 4th down and 3, Williams Field look to set up to punt after the big run stop by Red Mountain.
Nope.
Whistles prior to the snap. Play clock at 0.
Let's take a look, go back to that last play for a second on the replay. So right here you have the defensive end at the bottom of the screen here. Normally he was playing boot. And when they run the ball here, the quarterback's responsible for him. And when you watch as it plays out, nobody blocks him, and the quarterback's not able to pull him away from the running back, so he's able to get there and make the initial hit. Good, solid defense.
And a great job by Red Mountain. Once one gets there, the flood comes. On the punt, Gunnar Moore picks up the return and goes all the way back down inside his own 20 at the 19-yard line. And that'll set up the second offensive possession of the evening for Red Mountain. So both defenses standing strong. Red Mountain able to get across the 40 on their first drive of the game, and now a long field staring them in the face as they end up getting spotted out at the 21.
And normally, you know, offensive coordinators come out and they're a little conservative with their play calls early, run pretty basic stuff just to get a feel for what they're going to see. I think now Coach McDaniel will start to open up the playbook a little bit.
I was saying it. I said when 41 and 22 came in, and I said when 41 went out. And the last play they ran where
8:02 left in the first quarter. Lopez out in the pistol, and he gives to Lamb. Lamb met immediately in the backfield, and who else but Dante Martin.
Yeah, he is a load to try to block. That was a great job getting off the block and making the play in the backfield. Very tough for a high school defensive lineman to make those kind of plays.
Going to be a challenge for that right side of the line for Red Mountain tonight, as Martin able to create a lot of separation and get into the backfield and back him up for 2 yards, bringing up 2nd and 12. This time Lopez shows pass, scrambling to his left and able to get out to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more as he's spotted out at the 23.
Yeah, we're seeing pretty good coverage downfield from Williamsfield so far. Simon's not been able to find anyone once he breaks contain there. So forcing him to just keep the ball and get what he can.
A little bit of a tighter look defensively from what Red Mountain faced last week. We saw the big chunk plays that Gunnar Moore and Bodie Wagner were able to pick up, but they're going to have their hands full tonight with good route running to be able to create separation against these Williamsfield DBs. Lopez gives to Lamb on the delay, and Lamb has room to work with on the near side of the field out across the 40 and delivers the contact to Dion Rogers, and it's a first down for Red Mountain.
That has been a textbook play for Red Mountain for a few years now. They call it a sprint draw, where the quarterback has an unusual handoff where he actually has to reach from behind and put the ball in the quarterback's hip, the running back's hip.
And Red Mountain get back to the line quickly. Bodie Wagner loses his footing off the quick screen pass there, set up on the near side of the field. Able to pick up 3 on first down, and that brings up 2nd and 7. But just great usage of the run, and Red Mountain continuing to go to it even though they've had struggles early on with Dante Martin creating problems in the backfield.
So if we pull up the replay real quick, I can show you the handoff here. Watch the running back and watch the trickery from Simon Lopez as he looks to go sprint out and reaches around and hands it to him, and he's able to get a good 10 yards on it.
On the ensuing play here, an out route as Gunnar Moore is found, and he's just at the sticks, and they'll move him for another first down. So Red Mountain putting together a drive here as they've gotten across midfield and into Williams Field territory.
Now, I would imagine an aggressive play call here. You've broken the 50. You're most likely in 4-down territory. I wouldn't be surprised if they go up top here.
Lopez gets it and gives to Lamb, who has room to work with as Lamb picks up a chunk.
Now Lamb, the ball carrier, tackled by Andrew Schultz.
And Lamb has continued to run hard as the season goes. Not a huge frame, only 155 pounds, standing at 5'9", but able to be efficient and gain leverage.
Yeah, they call that running behind your pads, and he's able to do that really well. That's why he's been such an effective runner between the tackles.
It's been great to see, too, as he kind of came through in that game against Desert Ridge that we had earlier in the year, because it's been a running back by committee. We've seen Carson Motter, George Perkins, and now Talon Lamb. Lopez looking for Heap that time, and fans wanting a call, not going to get one.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what pass interference is these days. It seems like it changes from game to game and week to week on all levels of football, so I don't think I'm qualified for that.
Regardless, nothing called that time around, and it brings up 3rd and long here for Red Mountain. Lopez evading the blitz, tucks it, spins out of a tackle, and it looks like he'll be just short of a first down.
That was some nifty running with a little reverse spin there at the end. They're going to be very close.
So 4th and 1 now as the ball gets spotted at the 38, and you talked about 4-down territory early in this drive. We'll see what they end up doing.
They're going to huddle. Let's see.
Still 16 seconds left on the play clock to figure it out as Lopez gets back to relay the message from the sideline to his huddle. We're still scoreless with 4.5 to go in the first. And now a timeout taken.
Yeah, maybe they felt they weren't going to have enough time to get the play off.
So it gives a chance now for both teams to talk things over, but let's chat about this drive and what we've seen so far. Red Mountain being able to move the ball efficiently and just get stopped shy of the first down line with a scramble by Lopez, and it's a gutsy call here for Kyle Enders. If you don't get it, you turn it over and you give up a possibility of points, but you're on their side of the field.
Yeah, and it's it's a field position game, and the all the stats they use today, it seems to be you have a higher percentage of winning if you're able to convert a 4th down, whereas flipping the field and punting it, because you're already in your own territory. I don't know. 4th and 1. If you don't have a play that can get you 1 yard, then you're not going to be very successful all night. And I think they definitely have some plays they like.
I like the call, especially just because you're sort of caught in no man's land here. You don't really know if Brandon Gallegos or Kai Evans have the leg to get it there for 3 from here. So at that point, a punt could set you up a little bit better defensively, but an opportunity to keep the drive alive here for Red Mountain.
Every defender is up in the box here.
Lopez gives to Motter, and Motter has plenty of room to work with. He reached at the end, but he was already across the 35 and picked up the first down. Good blocking up front.
Yeah, they were able to carve a nice little hole for him, and he powered through there.
That hole created initially by Diego Villalobos, and he's one of those guards for Red Mountain who's been super successful in the pole game, but this time just stays true on that right side, and him and Hector Martinez open things up. So a fresh set of downs now for Red Mountain as Lopez stays in the gun. And flags fly, it'll be a dead play.
So let's go back and look at that fourth down play. If you look at the block here, you mentioned Diego Villalobos here. He's going to block down on 99, Dante Martin here. And you're going to see how he creates room for the running back to get through on the first down. Great block there and a lead through, and he's able to power through for the first down.
Good effort by everyone, now backed up 5 yards as the penalty pushes him out to the 40-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 15. 3 wide receivers set to the bottom of your screen. And Lopez rolls that way and gets it out to Heap. Heap able to break a tackle and get out across the 35, and the first reception of the evening for Preston Heap.
So it seems that Williamsfield has decided they are not going to allow themselves to get beat deep. And most of the open receivers that Simon's seeing so far are in the underneath variety. So they definitely seem to be playing softer coverage to take away the deep ball.
A pickup of 6 on first down for Red Mountain makes it 2nd and 9. Lamb motions to the right of Lopez as we've reached the 3-minute mark in the first. Play action, and Bodie Wagner gets it as he was in motion. Wagner breaks a tackle and gets into the red zone.
That was a great run after the catch there from B-Dubs. Able to get his knees up and avoid the first leg tackle and power through and get a first down. It's a great job.
The previous play you just talked about, Williamsfield not wanting to give anything over the top, and the yards after catch have been so prominent in this offense all season long, and Bodie Wagner with a good run to move the sticks here.
And that may be what they have to do tonight. If they have to take the underneath stuff and chip away, and eventually that'll set up something downfield. You just have to be patient. Take what the defense is giving you.
This drive now approaching the 7-minute mark as Red Mountain have been methodical. Lamb gets it this time behind Villalobos, the pulling guard, and a pickup of a few.
It's always a good sign when you see a running back who's patient. And Lamb right there, you know, a lot of young running backs, as soon as it got crowded in the middle, would look to bounce it and run outside. He stayed behind his blocker, waited for a crease to open up, and was able to power through for 3 yards. It's good patient running.
Substitutions now for Red Mountain. Cannon Skidmore comes off the field and replaced by Bryce Bigler, who sets up in the right slot. Lopez, another give to Lamb, who had to duck down and avoid the initial tackle from Teague Mullins, able to do so and pick up a couple.
It also helps not being tall.
Yeah.
Because you can get under a lot of guys' arms, and you're not going to get a solid hit from a bigger guy. So it also helps. And you see a lot of scat backs now in the NFL. Guys like Austin Eckler and those type.
3rd down and 4 upcoming. They'd have to get out to the 8 in order to pick up the first. Just 5 to go on the play clock as Lopez surveys the defense. Lopez takes a shot to Lamb out of the backfield down to the 10. Swallowed up with a little bit of a gang tackle that time by Dion Rogers as well as Adrian Deline.
Now it's more of a decision here because it's a long 1 yard, but you're certainly in field goal range. Do you take points or do you press?
It's a decision now for Kyle Enders to make, and right now it seems like he's keeping the offense out there.
And I think his thought process is the defense has played well thus far. They're backed up on the 10-yard line if you don't convert it here, or they're going to let it run out here.
And they'll be forced to take another timeout here. So that's already 2 timeouts taken by Red Mountain with 22 seconds left here in the first quarter.
But they were both on 4th down plays, so I think they just want to make sure they have all their ducks in a row and they get the right play, the play they want. They saw how they lined up, and now the chess game. Now does Steve Campbell change his defensive look? Does Red Mountain change their offensive look?
It's certainly a possibility to be a turning point in the game for Williams Field. You gain a lot of momentum if you make this stop here inside your own red zone. And on the flip side of things, for Red Mountain, you want to put points on the board, especially in a section matchup like this where everything is so important in regards to the standings and your record and everything as far as the playoff picture and the outlook is.
And you got to love this. You have two good coaches, playing the chess game, like I said, and just who's gonna have the one extra little wrinkle that's able to give your team success. That's why I love this game.
So Red Mountain get the look, take the timeout, and now they come out with a play call. We saw Moderer pick up the 4th down earlier on this drive, and he stays in the backfield this time around. Lopez keeps it himself, and behind Villalobos gets out and has enough to pick up the first.
The design quarterback run, it's a great call. Most defenses don't account for.
And they mark him short.
Oh, wow.
It looked like Lopez got out to the 8 or 7, and the officials mark him out of bounds at the 10. So that's a turnover on downs according to the spot, and it's going to end up being Williams Field ball. That's, from up here, it was tight. We might have to look at the replay to see if it was a spot, but yeah, it's close.
It all depends on where he goes out of bounds. It was close. It certainly wasn't didn't get as much of a push as we thought as initially. So, I don't know, it's hard with the angle that we have here.
So a big stop for Williams Field and the momentum on their side as they get their second offensive possession of the evening. Guy back to pass, and he looks to take a deep shot. This one floated up and a jump ball. And it turned out to be Cameron Cook playing more defense on that pass than offense.
It looked like there was some shoving going on there. I'm glad that the refs are letting them play a little bit. The last thing you want is a flag fest. So let the boys play. It's a good defense. Let's play the next play.
And your eyes get big as a defensive back when you see a jump ball like that that's underthrown. You have a chance to go up and get it, but good defense played by the wide receiver Cameron Cook to avoid an interception. Lee with the carry this time, a couple of moves and sheds a tackle and eventually brought down Moderer. Got there with the initial hit, and out of the backside, James Krieger came in to finish things off.
Yeah, it seems that he rarely gets tackled by one guy, and he has very quick feet. So he worked hard for those 3 yards or 4 yards.
After a quarter, we remain scoreless on RMTV. We'll step away and take a quick break.
Fans, this week is National Equipment Managers Week, and we would like to thank our very own equipment manager, George Pinero, a.k.a. JP. Thank you for all that you do for Red Mountain here. George Pinero, our equipment manager here at Red Mountain High School.
I'd like to take a quick moment to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. Weathermasters, family owned and operated since 1983. Plumbing, AC, and water treatment specialist, a proud sponsor of our boys at Red Mountain High School, as well as Tate's AC Heating and Cooling, honest and dependable service and maintenance since 1990. A huge shout out to them for providing our press box with a portable AC unit. Tate's AC and Cooling is a proud sponsor of RM football as we get ready to start the second quarter, and it's been a defensive slugfest here early on between these two teams. Williams Field able to get off the field on 4th down, stopping Simon Lopez on a keeper, and now another chance for Red Mountain to make a stop with their second possession defensively. They'll face a 3rd and short here against Williams Field.
And this feels like region play. Very physical. Neither team want to make a big mistake. Playing a little bit conservative right now. We'll see who's going to throw the first punch and really get on the board there.
We switch sides of the field. You see the motion on the defensive line, as you mentioned earlier in this game, from Red Mountain. This time a give to Cook as the wide receiver, Shifty, makes a couple moves and gets out to the 20, which is exactly the line to gain, and that should move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, with the fly sweep there, he's able to get outside the initial contain, and you know, it's tough to do when a guy's got a full head of steam running and you got to come up and hem him in there. Nice little run by Cook.
He's done most of his damage in the receiving game this season. He's averaging 98 yards per game through the air, but that time gets his first carry of the season and in a pivotal spot to pick up the first down. Personnel change now for Williams Field. Trey Foster out to the far side of the field at receiver.
They just get it off.
Guy faces pressure, hit by Modern, intercepted. Logan Haney able to pick it off, and Haney with room to work with. Haney inside the 5, and he's in for the pick 6.
And I just mentioned not wanting to make the big mistake. Who's going to throw the first punch? Well, there you have it.
Red Mountain's defense has been so elite at creating pressure game after game early on in the season. This time it's Carson Motter, one of the senior leaders of this team, to create the pressure, generate the hit onto Cody Guy, and it results in the Logan Haney pick 6.
Heck of a play. And a great job by the rest of the defense throwing blocks and getting out in front. He had a caravan taking him into the end zone there.
3 interceptions for this defense a week ago against Westwood, already with 1 tonight, and it goes all the way back to the end zone for the first points of the evening. An offside against Williams Field on the extra point.
And that's another thinker. You know, they move the ball half the distance. Is it worth trying a 2-point conversion here, or do you just take the, no, they're going to kick. Just take the points.
Yeah, it looks like Enders waves everyone off and out there, and it's good to see Kai Evans back out there for Red Mountain kicking. He had a problem. I think what Enders told me last week is that his UCL, he tore it in that game on a kickoff against Desert Ridge. So he's favoring that left arm. He has it all kind of casted up, and he's not moving it at all.
That's good.
Doesn't affect the kick, and a 7-0 lead for Red Mountain after a pick 6 from Logan Haney. And what a big play and a momentum shifter in this game.
Let's go back and look at the replay here. So Haney's the deep safety here, and they run a what looks like an over route. And he's off the picture right now, but he overthrows it a little bit. He's waiting on it. Great blocks, great little move there to avoid the tackle. And all kinds of bodies lead him into the end zone there. Great play.
He had a caravan that got him all the way through and through, and Jamison Wade with a big block on it. So everybody on the defense involved in that play. And for Williams Field, you get the ball right back. You give up the touchdown on a defensive turnover, and now you have to go right back to the drawing board and see what you can do to generate some offense with 11 minutes left in the first half.
I would imagine we'll see a heavy dose of Dylan Lee here and try to establish a run game. They haven't really been able to get him going as of yet.
Yeah, I feel like it's something where Steve Campbell almost has gone to the passing game early on and just taking what's given, with Red Mountain showing such strong presence in the run game and then been able to stop Lee early on with some of those short yardage gains. And now the passing game costs him 6 points the other way, but a big return here, and a good one at that from Deion Rogers to set up some nice field position for that offense.
Yeah, they get it out to about the 25, and you know, sometimes it's simply about, you know, confidence and establishing what you're going to do and imposing your will on the defense. So let's see if Williams Field will come out and able to do that.
I think it comes down to being the same thing for Red Mountain, of creating that pressure in the passing game and just kind of playing and being true to your assignment in the run game.
And they've done a solid job so far, and I'm sure Williams Field will have a wrinkle or two here to try to get the ball out to Dylan Lee in space.
After the 6th interception thrown of the season by Cody Guy, a change and a look at quarterback. Xavier Buckles comes in and throws a pass, and a flag flies. after the reception made by Braden Kersner on the near side of the field.
Yeah, there was a hold on the outside. I think it was Cook. Had a fistful of jersey as he tried to get by, and it's tough when you're right there. The official's going to see that every time.
So Xavier Buckles, a transfer from Chandler High. He's seen a little bit of time so far this season. He's 11 of 16 for 204 yards passing. No touchdowns through the air or on the ground for him thus far, but it looks like he'll replace Cody Guy at least on this drive.
Sometimes it's about just getting a different set of eyes out there and seeing if the rest of the offense responds to the new guy, rallies around him a little bit.
Buckles now in the gun, has Lee off to his right. Moves Lee over to the left and awaits the snap. And movement before the snap and a false start, so back-to-back penalties on the Williams Field offense, and that puts you in a really tough situation.
Yeah, it looked like the left tackle was going to pull. He might have got a little bit of an early start.
Brings up 2nd and 19 now as the ball's all the way back inside their own 20 at the 17-yard line. So the clock continues to wind. Personnel change late for Williams Field. And they bring in Braden Sutherland, the fullback for Williams Field. A little bit of a read option, and Buckles keeps it, makes a couple of moves. Seth Barron in with the initial hit, and the third flag in a row. We'll see if it comes on the hit. Barron may have gotten a little bit of face mask. I'm not sure.
As you can see, very concerned with Dylan Lee. The quarterback was able to get some running room initially, but they rallied well to the football.
So the officials converge as we await the call to see which way it goes, but the run defense has been stout early on in this first half for Red Mountain.
It has. Doing a great job. That linebacker core is always making plays.
And it is indeed that. So a face mask against Seth Barrett on the tackle of Buckles as he was making a couple of moves, and that's big for the Williams Field offense. All those penalty yards you just gave up, you get right back.
Yeah, that's kind of a killer for Red Mountain because they had him backed up, and now they have a 2nd and 5.
2nd down and 4.
Buckles this time gives off to Leon Motter in on the stop, and a big game already in the first half for Carson Motter, just showing his true colors of what he can do out there defensively.
And the theme I'm seeing so far is they are gang tackling. Only 2 and 3 guys at a time. One of them gets his legs, and then they come and clean him up over the top. It's a long day so far for that young man.
It brings up 3rd down and 4. Lee motions off to the left. Crowd begins to make some noise on the side of Red Mountain. That time the throw behind Joshua Sandrew, and it brings up 4th down and another big stop for Red Mountain early on.
It looked like they had a window there initially. I think they just missed it. Threw it behind them. It would have been a circus catch if he was able to come down with that.
And now that's such a big swing in the opportunity department for Red Mountain. You get the turnover with the pick 6, you make another stop coming off of the kickoff, and now the offense has an opportunity to get out there under 10 minutes left in the first half and be able to extend the lead.
Yeah, this is a big series here. If they can come down and score, make it a 2-score game.
Penalty marker down.
Flags.
Another whistle now, so that's the 4th flag in the past 6 plays here, and we'll see who it's against.
It's interesting because the flags were thrown back by the returners.
Might have been personnel. Red Mountain could have had too many in on the punt return.
Possibly, yeah, that may have been it.
And that moves things forward, and that's enough. That gives Williams Field a 1st down. So that's a huge mistake now on the side of Red Mountain. That penalty enough to move the chains. And instead of Williams Field having to punt it away, they have an opportunity for the offense to keep things rolling and get some back.
Oh, that's a killer right there. They're about to get him off the field, and then you give it back because they have too many guys on.
So a fresh life for Williamsfield and a switch again at quarterback. So Cody Guy, the original starter, comes back in under center. Guy with the stretch, and Lee tries to set up a couple blocks and get to the outside. He does just that. And there's the big chunk gain that you're used to seeing out of Dylan Lee.
And I think the wrinkle that Steve Campbell is using here is the fullback now. They're in an I formation, old school football. Follow your fullback, he gets a lead block, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, not a formation that's too well seen nowadays, especially in high school football. A lot of things are run out of the gun or the pistol, something with a split set. So with that extra blocker up front, it gives a little bit of lead time to Dylan Lee.
Yeah, football is very cyclical. These things tend to come and go.
Cody Guy stays under center this time and fakes it to Lee, has pressure off the backside and just has to throw it away. A nice job that time in pursuit by Jacob Redwing of Red Mountain.
By Jacob Redwing. Third down. 3 yards to
Another
go.
crucial
Ball to
down here,
44.
3rd and 3. We'll see if the Red Mountain defense can get off the field here.
It's another short yardage situation where they've been very successful so far on the evening with their play calls defensively and the penetration they've been able to get.
Third down is going
I almost have the
down.
sense that Williamsfield feels like this is 2-down territory here. The way this game is going, it's really crucial that they get some positive yardage here and get a score.
Ball set up at the 44. Guy looks to stretch, gets it to Lee, and he has room, and he's going to be stopped just short of the line to gain.
Billy wrapped up by Jacob Redwing.
Progress was stopped, or he was down.
Gain of 2, 4th down and 1.
And now that brings up 4th down and a long one, and the situation presents itself that you just talked about. Does Steve Campbell want to take a shot near midfield and go for it?
Well, Seth Barron actually got through unblocked in that last play. He was so quick, he ran by the ball.
Williamsfield keeps the offense on the field. Guy back under center. 5 on the play clock. He's given a couple hard counts, and they take a timeout. So they just wanted to see if they can draw Red Mountain offside and get that look at the defense for what they want to do on 4th down.
Yeah, that's a good job. You don't give up any yardage, and you're able to see what they came out in defensively, and now you have a little more time to make a decision.
It's kind of a fool me once situation, too. I don't think Red Mountain was about to take another penalty on 4th down to give him the chains.
Oh, man, you never know. Sometimes you're caught up in the moment. You know, the emotions are high, and you jump on a snap count, and especially in high school, it happens all the time. Very frustrating for defensive coaches.
A big situation upcoming for Williamsfield as they've just been slowly moving the ball on this drive, getting out to the 46, and it looks like all signs point to them wanting to go for it on 4th and 1 here, and an opportunity to keep the offense on the field. Still plenty of time in this first half with 8:31 remaining. And the defense breaks out of the timeout for Red Mountain, first back onto the field.
And this is one of those moments where you grab the offensive line and say, guys, we're going to run behind you. You need to win your individual battles. If we're going to get this first down, you're our guys.
Marquis Stevens in on the defensive line for Red Mountain, looking to plug the interior. Guy gives it to Lee, hitting the backfield by Jamison Wade, and absolutely nowhere to go. Huge 4th down stop by Red Mountain, and they force the turnover.
Fundamental defense right there. Great job by the linebackers. It's a huge stop.
It's been the linebacking core all night that's gotten their nose into the backfield. It's been Carson Motter, Jamison Wade, and then on the end, not a linebacker, but Seth Barron. You talk about him creating the pressure time and time again.
Yeah, it's a big stop. Now they have the ball in positive territory. Williamsfield's going to have to make a stop here if they're going to have a chance.
Exactly how you want everything to be going. If you're Red Mountain at home, get the ball back at the 45. Lopez goes empty set, and a quick pass out looks for Skidmore, unable to connect.
I think he's actually lucky that he threw that outside. Maybe he saw that late, because I think if he had thrown it on target, it might have been picked. So that was fortuitous that the ball did not go where it was meant to go.
And that's a play where defensively Williams Field might want to start taking chances to get the ball back. Jump a couple of routes and see if you can get a read to force a turnover yourself.
Absolutely, and so they're jumping the short routes now. It's going to open up things downfield. Risk reward. Defense
showing pressure, and handoff goes to Lamb. Able to pick up one and brings up 3rd and 9. So good couple of downs for Williams Field's defense back to back, not to give up too much, and now 3rd and long for Red Mountain.
See what Coach dials up here. Again, I'm still thinking this is 2 down territory, so maybe get half. Get 5 yards, make it a 4th and 5 or less. Or take 2 shots.
Lopez fakes to Lamb. Lamb picks up a big block in the backfield, and Lopez skates out of the pocket for a huge gain as he picks up the 1st down and more just outside of the 20.
You see some of the acceleration there from Lopez. He turned that corner, and he was off to the races. That's a big play right there.
And that's something where when I spoke with head coach Steve Campbell of Williams Field prior to the game, he said the focus defensively was don't let Simon Lopez win with his legs. That time he does it and picks up a big 1st down.
Lopez pass complete to Bodie Wagner.
And they're throwing the Spartan screen, as they call it out there. Line up a bunch of blockers in a bunch formation. Throw the ball, quick throw out to one of the slots, and see if he can pick up some yards.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
No gain brings up 2nd down and 10 for Red Mountain, just outside of the red zone at the 21. Ten seconds left on the play clock, and Lopez going to be scrambling to get this one off. Beats the play clock by a second, and Lamb has a little bit of room. He's brought down around the 15.
Number 23, Adrian Dalheen. Assisted by Holden Nichols. Gain of 5.
So Red Mountain continue to mix the run and the pass in, and it brings up 3rd and 5. Wagner in motion to the left. Lopez fakes the give and gets it to Wagner. Tries to set up a block, and he stops short.
Lopez simply to Bodie Wagner. Tackle.
Yeah, again with the play action, trying to get him out, the ball in the flat. Williams Field all over it that time.
Gain of 2 is 4th down and 3, ball for 14.
Braden Brenner tried to set up the block that time for Wagner to kind of scoot around. And personnel change onto the field here for Red Mountain. It looks like the special teams unit coming out, and they'll settle for an attempt for 3.
I think at this point, it's more important to come away with some points and make it a 2-score game. Don't give them a momentum swing.
31-yard attempt here for Evans.
Evans
puts it up and gets it. So Evans doing just fine with that injury to the elbow. Perfect on the extra point and perfect on the 31-yard field goal, and that gives Red Mountain a 10-point lead as the time ticking away here in the first half. 5:36 to go, and we'll step away on RMTV.
Red Mountain Silver sponsors are Dr. Ford Giles, Family Dental Care, continued proud supporter of Red Mountain football. Go Lions. Taylor Ford, Arizona's most trusted flooring specialist since 1981, and proud to be part of the Red Mountain football program. Go Mountain Lions. And One Stop Nutrition. Stop by and enjoy one of the delicious and nutritious shakes today, located at Power and McDowell. One Stop Nutrition. Proud supporter of Red Mountain football. Kai Evans to kick for the Mountain Lions.
A good drive put together by Red Mountain to come away with points after the big stop on 4th down from the defense. And then the conversion by Simon Lopez with his legs to get it inside red zone territory, and they come away with 3 from Kai Evans.
Evans in the end zone touchdown.
And Williams Field offense has been silenced up to this point, so we'll see if they can get anything going. But the game plan for Red Mountain has been staying true, kind of creating confusion up front, getting penetration in on the running game. And Dylan Lee, he's a guy who's averaged 9.4 a carry on the season, close to 140 yards per game, hasn't even sniffed that tonight.
No, not so far, and I think they're going to have to change up their strategy here as they have about 5 minutes left in the half. Can't ground and pound here. You're going to have to take some shots downfield if you want to get on the board before halftime.
And Cody Guy remains in the game at quarterback, and we see them going away from that I formation and back into the gun now. Guy shifts protection as he sees Motter kind of creeping up, and he gives off to Lee, who has a little bit of room this time. Lee finds his way into the secondary, and there's the big chunk run that we're used to seeing from Dylan Lee, a big pickup on first down for Williamsfield.
Yeah, they needed that. Able to get him a little draw play, a little delay, and he's able to break a couple tackles and get him a first down.
A 22-yard gain on first there for Lee. And that's something where he's just such a strong runner. Not only is he an athlete, he can make moves with his shiftiness, but he can break those arm tackles if you just bring one person after him. That's why we've talked about the gang tackling for Red Mountain being so important early on. That time a little trickery and snuffed out and caught up in the backfield. The handoff goes to Braden Kersner, and he has nowhere to go.
They tried to use Lee as a decoy there. That's a big stop there. Now it's second and long.
Good for the Red Mountain defense. After you give up a big play, force them back for a couple of yards. A loss of 2 on first down for Williamsfield. Williamsfield still with 2 timeouts. Red Mountain have 1 remaining. Lee gets it again up the middle. Brought down as he gets close to midfield. That time Champ Jennings in on the tackle.
Some good hard running right there. Gives them a manageable third down, 3rd and 6 here.
And I think what we've learned through a few offensive possessions for each team is it's 4 down territory between the 40s no matter what.
Seems to be that way so far, yeah.
Lee gets another carry, and he's brought down right at the line to gain, depending on the spot.
The line judge down this way is...
he has him a yard short. And a player down for the side of Red Mountain.
I think it's an official. Oh, no, it is a player. I think what they're saying is he landed, the ball was further forward. His knee might have touched before he extended his body out.
So right now the spot has him just a yard short. It'd be good if we can pull it up on replay, maybe take a peek to see if we get the angle.
As you can see right there, the ball is over. What you can't see is his knee down. Hard to tell from our angle. Let's go one more time.
Yeah, definitely finishes right at the line to gain there on the 48. And you see in the picture, the top of the screen, the official comes in and moves back a yard based off where you get the spot from the head linesman, Tim Dean.
Yeah, the guy on the Red Mountain sideline is marking about a yard further back. I think it's all determined by where the ball was and where his knee was when he went to the ground.
Player down on the play for Red Mountain was Lucas Wilson, up and walking on his own power. So good to see him come back to the sideline here with no help.
Campbell's pleading his case here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get it to move anywhere. Typically, referees are pretty stubborn from what I've learned in my day. Once they make a call, they kind of stick with it.
No red flags to throw here.
Yep, not in high school football. Can't go to the replay, can't get the challenge. So he's going to have to draw something up just a yard shy of the line to gain at the 49.
And another crucial fourth down here.
For
The offense on, and the fullback brought back in Braden Sutherland, and they go to that I formation look.
Two tight ends, power football right here.
Guy gives to Lee, and he has enough to get it. He took a pop there from Jamison Wade, but able to stay on his feet and get a couple extra.
Yeah, that was tough running. You know, and you notice he was back about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. He got a full head of steam going. There was no denying him on that play. But his helmet came off, so he's going to come out of the game for a play.
Yeah, the helmet came off due to the impact from the tackle of Jamison Wade, or the initial hit there. He got all 215 pounds of Wade that time, met him right in the middle.
Quite a collision.
So a first down and a big pickup for Williams Field as they continue this drive with 3:37 left in the first half. This time they go to the air and swing a pass out for a pickup of 8. Far side of the field, that's Cameron Cook, who continues to stay involved in this first half.
And you get the feel that there's a little momentum shift here, that Williams Field's got a couple positive plays in a row. They're going up tempo, they're not huddling, the linemen are lining up on the ball. They're determined to try to get a score in here before the half ends.
It's those in-game adjustments that have been showing true as Dylan Lee checks back into the game after missing a play to his helmet coming off. And that time, Lee just fights with the Red Mountain front and has enough to pick up the first down.
And you could see Jamison Wade there. I think it was Jennings trying to pop the ball loose as he was wrapped up. You know, it's tough when you're just trying to keep your feet or go down and they're holding you up and they're clawing at the football. It's tough for a running back.
So another first down pickup, and Williams Field doing a really nice job managing the clock at this portion in the first half as well. Not only trying to get points on the board to cut it to a one-score lead, but not giving anything to Red Mountain on the other side, as we know Williams Field kicked off to start the game as they deferred on the kickoff.
Oh, my goodness.
And there's the penetration that you see from Champ Jennings. Big run stop. A couple of Red Mountain players get into the backfield, but Jennings makes the solo tackle.
That was a textbook form tackle. You can't draw it up any better. He came through and wrapped up the legs and was able to bring him down solo.
Shot out of a cannon that time around.
It was a great play.
Second and long, Guy looks to pass, and he takes a deep shot out to the end zone. Castaneda on an island, he gets beat. The jump ball and a touchdown for Joshua Sandrew. Williams Field cut the lead to just one score.
That was a crazy play. It looked like he misjudged the football. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, I think Castaneda must have lost the ball last minute, because I don't know if he ever made a play on it.
It was a good job from Sandrew. He kind of got leverage behind Castaneda there and then went up to beat him for it.
With 1 minute, 52 seconds left for the first half, it's Red Mountain 10, Williams Field 7.
Yeah, I think he just lost the ball on the lights for a second, and Sandro was able to come down with it. It's a big play for Williams Field. It gets them right back in this football game.
The 35-yard pitch and catch, Joshua Sandrew, his 4th touchdown of the season, and he scored in 4 straight games now. He had one against Desert Vista, one against Mountain Ridge, one against Desert Ridge, and now one tonight against Red Mountain to make it a 10-7 game. So I spoke earlier on the drive on Williams Field, managing the clock pretty well. They did that, but the deep shot kind of takes some time and leaves it on the clock for Red Mountain. So 1 minute and 52 remaining in the first half. Red Mountain, we know they already spent 2 of their timeouts in the first quarter. So just 1 to work with in that minute 52 to work down the field.
And I think you come out and you run something conservative on the first play, see if you're able to get positive yards. And if you are, maybe you try to go up tempo and see if you can get a couple more first downs, see if you can get in field goal range, maybe get a quick score.
That time the kick goes out of bounds, so good field position despite the clock being against Red Mountain, they'll get a good start for the offense.
And that might change your thought process a little bit. You're getting the ball in the 35 now. Maybe you do take some shots.
The back and forth we kind of anticipated has finally arrived in this first half. It's been a good defensive bout, but both teams have gotten their chances. First offensive touchdown of the night scored goes to Williamsfield with that 35-yard touchdown reception by Joshua Sandrew.
Let's see what Red Mountain has dialed up here.
Minute and 52 to work with. Lopez sets up in the pistol with Lamb behind him. There's that delay in the give to the wide receiver and a nice pickup by Bryce Bigler on the run.
Yeah, a little trickeration there. Fake the handoff to the back. And it's essentially like running a quick pass and getting out of bounds. If you can get out of bounds,
yep.
Stop the clock.
8 yards on first down, and like you mentioned, stops the clock. So a minute and 45 in a short yardage situation here. Lopez sprints out to the left and throws one over the top and just finds the gap in the coverage and a pickup of first down, and they're moving quick.
That's such an effortless throw there from Lopez. Just a flick of the wrist, and the ball was 20 yards downfield. It's a great throw and catch.
Bodie Wagner, really good job finding the soft spot in the coverage. And now Red Mountain already in Williamsfield territory.
And having the presence of mind to get out of bounds and preserve as much clock as possible.
Yeah, the clock doesn't even seem like it's going to be a problem anymore with the spot of the field they have the ball. All-out blitz coming this time around, and Lamb picks it up out of the backfield, and Lamb has plenty of room to work with. Flag comes in late. As Lamb brought down by Andre Hackett. Could it be something with ineligible receiver downfield?
I'm not sure if you got it. It looked like it was a holding. Okay. You have that many linemen downfield. Somebody's going to grab something. Because I think he caught the ball behind the line. I think that would be the question. If he was past the line of scrimmage when he caught it, that would be 5 illegal men downfield.
And the hold is the call signaled, so that backs things up for Red Mountain. So a 16-yard gain from Talon Lamb negated by the hold.
Ball back to the 36-yard line.
And it brings things back all the way out to the 36. Remains first down, so 1st and 9 upcoming here for Red Mountain. Lopez pumps and decides to keep. Gets across the 30 and brought down out at the 34-yard line.
And a very smart play by Gunnar Moore by not throwing the block at the end. It would have been in the back. He pulled up, let Lopez get what he gets, and we have another play here.
Heads up play, under a minute now in the first half. Lopez checks it down to Lamb, and Lamb looks like he had enough to pick up the first down, but the clock continues to wind and marked a yard short.
Yeah, I don't know if he got a hand on it right away. He kind of double clutched it, so he wasn't able to turn upfield.
So 41 seconds left in the first half. Timeout taken. And another situational spot where you can come away with points to end this half, and it would be huge for Red Mountain to do so because they don't get the ball back. They kick it away to start the second.
And again, so you have to consider what's Kai Evans' range. Where did the ball need to be spotted for him to have a makeable field goal attempt? Do you take a shot at the end zone? You have I think they have one timeout left. Is that right?
Yep. They just spent it here, I think.
Okay. So they're probably talking about some situationals here. If the ball is in play, they'll probably go up and spike it to preserve the clock. It's just some good time to go over some situations with your players, make sure everybody's on the same page.
I think you're definitely in the range of Kai Evans here as far as length is concerned. This
would be a 40 44-yard kick, 45-yard kick.
First order of business for Red Mountain is trying to pick up the first. 3rd down and 1 here with 41 seconds left in the first half. Single coverage all the way across the board. Lopez takes a shot and a missed coverage.
Oh, no.
Gunnar Moore drops it for the touchdown.
Oh my goodness. He was wide open.
A blown coverage, and it was all daylight, and definitely a missed opportunity there.
4th and 1.
The corner switched off. Corner, if you go to the replay here, the corner switches off on the motion from Heap, and nobody picks up Gunnar Moore coming through, and he's able to run unabated to the end zone. And oh my gosh, I'm sure he would want that one back.
Yeah, he split through all the defenders and had a straight line. You even saw him throw the hand up calling for the ball. He knew he had everyone beat, and it was a good throw by Lopez.
Yeah.
He put it right on the mark. It was right where you want it on the go, and just an unfortunate mishap to drop that one in the end zone for a free 6 to end the half. And now Williams Field spend their last time out of the first half to talk things over as a 4th and 1 upcoming here for Red Mountain.
And those are sometimes the hardest plays to make. It's like in basketball, the guy that has the layup all by himself, and he thinks about it too much and misses it. Maybe he just overthought it, didn't just focus on concentrating and coming down with the football, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just one where it's hard, and everyone knows it. The receiver knows it. Gunnar Moore is going to be kicking himself in the foot there for not making that catch. So 4th and 1, we'll see what the play call is. Lopez rolls out, and he finds Wagner. Wagner has enough to pick up the first, and he gets out of bounds with 29 seconds left.
It's a great play. The back and forth motion, just confirm it there in man-to-man defense. And pulls a defender away from where they wanted to throw the football.
Now a situation comes for Red Mountain. Do you want to take a couple shots to the end zone? Do you want to force a couple quick out routes, get out of bounds, and pick up a couple more to make it a shorter field goal? We'll see what plays out here. Lopez rolls out of the pocket and takes it out of bounds wisely to stop the clock with 21 left. So just a heads-up play by Simon Lopez, not to try to create anything extra upfield, but get out of bounds instead.
For a first-year starter, he seems to have a lot of the savvy you see in a seasoned quarterback. Just a smart football play there.
Has all the intangibles, the moxie, and he's just done a lot right, and he's protected the football extremely well throughout the year. Only 1 interception on the season for Lopez.
Knock on wood.
Wagner in motion, comes back towards the formation, and Lopez gets it off with 1 second left. Lopez takes a sack, and this is where you got to get back to the line quickly.
And that's a killer, because that's the one thing you can't have happen. They're going to have to spike it and try to get a last-ditch play.
You can take your time with this one. Still 8 seconds on the clock, and a hard block made there as you saw the guy you've been talking about all night on the defensive line for Williams Field. Dante Martin tried to get through still, even though he knew the spike was coming, try to create a problem off the snap.
And you have to wonder, if he's able to do that, how could he not have been offside?
Yeah. So 5 seconds left, and Red Mountain elect to try the field goal. So Kai Evans out there. Be a 38-yard attempt. Evans has enough leg, and the accuracy stays true. Kai Evans having a night, 2 for 2, a 31 and a 38-yard field goal, and that extends the lead for Red Mountain.
And that looked like it would have been good from 15 yards further back, I think.
Yeah, he's had the leg tonight. I was watching him in warm-ups, kicking it all the way from back out at the 45 and getting it close to the post there. So plenty of leg for Kai Evans.
Red Mountain 13, Williamsfield 7.
Those are the situations where you're able to take the sigh of relief as you don't come up with the touchdown that was there for Gunnar Moore, but you still come away with points. You extend the lead, so 13-7, and what a first section game of the season it's been here in the 6A East Valley. We've seen smash mouth football, hard running, hard work from the defense, and both teams have made nice stops, and a one-score game as we head into the second half.
It's shaping up to be quite a second half. I can't wait.
And we'll get back to you with second half action, but for now, we'll step away. 13-7, Red Mountain on top at home, and we'll take a break for halftime on RMTV. When we're on the game, I'm usually like up here, closer, looking out the window. Yeah, just from when we're in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field now for a special ceremony as we honor our cancer survivors as part of Cancer Awareness Night here at Red Mountain High School. First up is Travis Carr, missionary, loving husband, father and friend, and proud owner of Zigzag Termite and Pest Control, passed away October 26, 2022 after a 10-month fight against an aggressive form of esophageal cancer. His sons Tristan, Seth, and Chase and his widow Kimberly are here to honor him tonight. Next up is Mark Montague. Mark is currently fighting stage 4 metastatic colon and liver cancer. He is a devoted husband, amazing stepdad, awesome brother, the best son, an incredible friend to all that know him. Tonight we stand with his wife Shelley, daughters Abby and Grace, extended family Mark, Crystal, Miranda, and Andrew Schmier. We love you, and we are in this fight with you. Next is
Pat Moser. Pat Moser lost her battle with breast cancer on June 1st, 2023, just 28 days shy of her 96th birthday. She had a laugh and smile that was contagious, and there is not a day that has gone by that she has not missed. Her support of her great-grandkids at Red Mountain football and girls soccer games will be missed tremendously. She's being remembered tonight by her daughter Kimberly, granddaughter Amber, and great-great-grandchildren Taylor, Aaron, and Elijah. Up next is Jenny English. Aunt Jenny courageously fought colon cancer for 2 years while raising her young family. She loved supporting her children and nieces and nephews. She had a smile that would light up a room and always remembered special events in your life. John Jane, aka Papa, battled leukemia for several years. He taught us the meaning of hard work, to help others, and to put family first. He is loved and missed by all who knew him. A few of his grandkids are walking for him tonight. Lori Bottomley. Lori is a choir and performing arts teacher at Poston Junior High. She is creative, outgoing, and loves to laugh. Lori is currently fighting a brave battle with cancer, surrounded by the love of her family and friends. Randy Skidmore. Wife Miriam, his grandkids on Palm will walk with him. Randy Skidmore has survived cancer in his stomach. He has had 15 grandkids go to Red Mountain with 3 more to come. He's always teaching his grandchildren to put God first, shows unconditional love, and is always up for having fun with them. Our next honoree is Xandra Peyton Wade. She loved Red Mountain and enjoyed nothing more than the student section on Friday nights. Xandra lost her battle to cancer in May 2020. But it's important to remember she never stopped fighting. Her brother Jameson wears her number 13 because he plays for her. Thank you for remembering Z.
This is tough to read. The last one.
Next up, Letizia Beltran. Letizia has been battling cancer for the last 10 years. Her 8 children and loving husband keep her strong during this battle. Next is Samuel Bennett. Sam is a veteran battling cancer once again. He draws strength from his family and is a true fighter. Taruko Bennett, thank you for honoring the memory of a remarkable woman, wife, mom, and grandmother, Taruko Bennett, who enriched our lives through her love, her passion for singing and croqueting and cooking, and her deep appreciation for history. She brought joy to our hearts with her warm spirit. Though she's no longer with us, her vibrant legacy lives on through her 2 beloved grandchildren, Luke and Kai Evans. Life. She was a loving wife, mom, and grandma who adored her grandkids. Her humor, killer robot dance moves, and fabulous hair made her truly special. Her memory continues to inspire us with love and happiness. Next is Janet Knudsen, the grandmother of Gavin Tafflinger, a member of our Red Mountain High School freshman football team. She's currently facing the immense challenge of stage 3 triple-negative breast cancer. In the face of this adversity, she has showed us what true courage looks like. Her determination to fight, her unwavering spirit, and her unbreakable bond with her family inspire us all. Janet, we stand with you in this battle. Claudia Tafflinger. Today our hearts are heavy as we also remember Claudia Tafflinger, Gavin's mother. Claudia was a remarkable woman who faced her own battle with invasive breast cancer. Sadly, she left us on September 27, 2015. Her legacy lives on in Gavin and Julian, her 2 sons, Anna and Priscilla, her 2 daughters, and in the hearts of all who knew her. Claudia's journey was marked by her resilience, her grace, and her enduring love for her family. She reminds us of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment we have with our loved ones. Next up is Oscar Franco honoring Isaac Thompson's grandpa. Next up is Bobby Joe Appleton, who was diagnosed with cancer and was unexpected in a very scary situation as her odds were not good. We are all very grateful to still have her with us, joined by daughter Casey Joe Appleton, a senior at Red Mountain, and husband Chris Appleton on the field. Next, we will honor Barbara Farabee. Barbara lost her cancer battle April 23rd and is honored tonight by her great best friend, Marcia Godair. And last but not least, Jessie Myers Pomonis. Miss Pomonis has been an influential member of the Red Mountain community for many years. She's a proud Red Mountain alumni class of '92 and loves her student council kids and making Red Mountain events special. She is the definition of strong and she is a fighter. She's currently battling colon and liver cancer We love you, Miss Pomonis. Don't forget, you are a rock star. Let's have a big round of applause for all of our cancer nominees this evening. We thank you for being with us this evening.
Next up performing, please welcome to the field, Red Mountain Varsity Pause. Let's hear it to Red Mountain Varsity Pause.
Turn it up to 11.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Red Mountain Marching Tribe. This year's show, entitled Fabric of Love, features recognizable melodies that lead a story about love. Please welcome the Red Mountain Marching Tide and drum majors Riley Mulville and Hannah Gray. Red marching band is under the direction of Jennifer Hamilton and Karen Jones. Percussion instructors Wardell King, Evan Dixon, Rob Davis, Matt Izquierdo, and Benjamin McKinley. Visual instructors Taylor Gowdy, Dana Richardson, Zach Lovejoy, and Chandler Romney. Guard instructors Aubrey Oliver and Jamie Warhawk. Production Choir Director Dallas, our corporate sponsors. Title sponsors, Dixon Jewelers, your hometown jewelers since 1949. State Farm, Sundown Legacy. Rights for non-speakers. Gratitude Pool. Pet Planet. Realty Executives, Varsity. Red Mountain Motors. Red, White, and Blue. Carlos Pizza. Red Mountain Tire and Auto. JC Printing. Truck Fine Meat. Just Because Gift Shop. Howard Postal. Wood Partners and The Rhyme.
Second half action set to get underway here on RMTV. Alongside Chris Andriotis, I'm Zach Warhack, and a 13-7 lead for Red Mountain coming out of the half. They'll kick it away to Williamsfield. And what are some things you can highlight thus far in this game for both sides?
Red Mountain with the second stop going the third quarter, kicking off number 36, Ty Evans.
Had the one big play down there in the end zone on the jump ball, and Red Mountain had a missed opportunity on the other end. Other than that, it's a pretty well played game thus far, and I think it's going to come right down to the wire.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good defensive stand from both sides as well. We talk about the pick six for Red Mountain that went the way of Logan Haney to get them on the board, and then offensively the 35-yard touchdown reception to Joshua Sandrew for Williamsfield. Other than that, only real missed opportunity from the side of Red Mountain is the Gunnar Moore catch in the end zone.
Yeah. And I was just talking to one of the coaches at halftime. He said he makes that in practice all week. Just a fluke.
Yep, it's tough, and it always is different to translate when it matters in the game, but we'll set things off with a touchback for Williamsfield, and they'll get the ball to start the second half, and we'll see if their offense can put some points back on the board. Successful late in the first half with that touchdown reception, and now with them being able to cut the lead to a one-score game down 6 here, it gives them the opportunity to go back to working that run game on the ground and not really fighting the clock like they were the back end of the first half to get points on the board.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments they made at halftime, try to get their running back going. He had a couple nice runs, but for the most part, it's been bottled up.
And first things first, it's Xavier Buckles in at quarterback for Williamsfield rather than Cody Guy. So they give that different look to start the second half, and Buckles faces pressure and spits it out to the near side of the field. Kersner able to pick up a first down and a little bit more before he's brought out of bounds on the Red Mountain sideline.
Taking a page out of Simon Lopez's playbook and scrambling, finding time, and finding a receiver downfield for the first down.
Yeah, Buckles is a good runner with the football and able to do so with scrambling. We saw a little bit of it in the first half and able to pitch a pass out there for a first down early on to start this second half. Motter in on the stop like he has been all night, creating pressure in the pass game and here in the run game with a big stop on first down.
Yeah, they've been doing a phenomenal job of wrapping him up in the backfield.
It really has been Motter creating a lot of penetration off the edge throughout the entirety of the night. He was the one that forced the overthrow on the interception and a big stop there. This time Jennings, the first one in to make the stop, and he's joined by Jamison Wade as they bring down Lee, and that brings up a quick third down and long.
And the linebackers picking right up where they left off here. If you want to go to the replay really quickly, that Motter stunts from outside and comes underneath to make the play. So just finding creative ways to get those linebackers loose.
Huge stop, and the initial point of contact has been so important as Dylan Lee has come with a full head of steam time after time, but Red Mountain doing a nice job stopping any momentum, and now a flag flies on third and long, and it's offside against Red Mountain. So that makes this third and long to third and manageable.
Ball at the 46.
I'm sure Coach Andrews is not pleased at giving him 5 free yards.
We saw the special teams mistake earlier on the punt where they gave him a first down after it was fourth down, and now this makes it more manageable, but Chris Castaneda lays out, gets a hand on it, and breaks up the pass.
That was a great play, and that just speaks to how well prepared this Red Mountain defense is. They knew the play was coming. Castaneda was right there, made a great play on the ball, and now it's a fourth down?
Yep, fourth down and 3, and a good bounce back play for Castaneda. The touchdown was thrown against him to Joshua Sandrew in the first half, and he comes back with nice coverage here on this third and short. And Williamsfield keep the offense on the field for fourth down.
I wonder if this is going to be oh, wow.
Buckles with a wide pitch, and that is blown up immediately. A great stop by Jacob Redwing in the backfield. Redwing saw that coming from a mile away and created the penetration for a huge loss, and that gives Red Mountain's offense such a good starting point for their first drive of this second half.
That was a heck of a play. I'm trying to find the best angle on the replay here, but he is shot out of a cannon. Oh, and it got away from me. So if you watch him here at the top of the screen, he almost takes the pitch himself.
It is almost a slow developing looking pitch play. It took a while to get going, and they threw it deep back there in the backfield, and you're right, Redwing almost got in to intercept the pitch. Lopez again with the wide receiver give, and this time it's Bigler with the carry, and Bigler sets up a couple blockers and gets inside the 15.
That's the old school end around where they pull 2 guards and get him in motion, full head of steam, able to pick up a big chunk of yards right there.
Red Mountain looking solid coming out of the half. First the stop defensively, and the offense already moving down to the 15. Lopez, the design keeper, cuts it back up the middle, and he's brought down. Final tackle put on by Andrew Schertz in the middle of that Williamsfield defense.
So they went empty there with a bunch formation to try to pull defenders out of the middle to give Simon Lopez some running room.
Red Mountain back to threatening at the 11-yard line. Bigler in motion, and Lopez keeps it up the middle inside the 5, brought down at the 2, and Red Mountain knocking on the door with the first down brings up first and goal.
First and goal at the 2.
So if we look at the replay here, this is designed quarterback run. Trying to spread the defense out. They pull the guard and tackle. Lopez follows the tackle there. Able to pick up some tough yards, get inside the 5.
Last line of defense, Adrian Dahlin. We've called his name quite a bit tonight. And now, tight formation in at the goal line for Red Mountain. Lopez has a wide open run to the end zone on the fake, and he punches it in for 6 on the opening drive of the second half for Red Mountain.
And when you put all your receivers to the other side, that one last defender has contained, but you're going to play the run as any defender would. Took advantage of that, and Lopez uses his athleticism to get outside and score a touchdown. It's a great play.
Lopez does a wonderful job selling the fake and getting into the end zone. The first offensive score of the night for Red Mountain, a 2-yard rushing touchdown for Simon Lopez, and Kai Evans looks to tack on the extra point.
So if we go to the replay here, they motion the guy late, and the only defender left is that guy right there, and they read him, and he plays just that one step inside, gives Lopez all the space he needs to go score.
A tough spot for Javon Maxey to be in, to have to contain there and look to read the run, get in on the tackle to try and stop him short, but also responsible for keeping the quarterback intact. Lopez knew he had freedom right when he faked the give and got all the way to the end zone. A free walk-in touchdown, and that gives Red Mountain a 13-point lead now. And a good touch there for the offense to be able to get things on the board and extend the lead.
Yeah, and now a pivotal drive here for Williams Field. You know, I'd hate to say it's do or die. It's so early in the second half, but a 3-and-out here would be killer. They need to get some points on the board here.
And Red Mountain's defense have been stout and showed it the first drive, stopping the 4th down attempt and turning Williams Field over, and that's what really set up the touchdown. They were in such good field position, and it made it easy. Short field, short drive, and 6 on the board for Red Mountain. Cole Edmonds with the stop on the kick return. And we'll get a second look here of the second half from the Williams Field offense, and we'll see if they stick with Xavier Buckles or go back to Cody Guy at quarterback.
I think you have to try to do something different at this point, because what they've been doing thus far, outside of a couple runs from Lee, has been not working except for the deep shots downfield. They may revisit those shots some more downfield, I think.
Yeah, it's almost that gut feeling where you have to open the offense up, and they switch quarterbacks again. So Cody Guy back on the field for Williams Field in an empty backfield right now.
I think they're short a guy.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
And that explains why the backfield is empty. Late player onto the field, and only 3 seconds to snap it. They do get it off. And Guy keeps it, cuts back in, and Red Wing there to make the tackle. Good play by Red Wing and Barron to get in on the tackle. Red Wing able to shed the block and make the initial stop, and Barron cleans things up.
Yeah, and you see Williams Field in a hurry up now, and up tempo, just trying to get something going. Keep Red Mountain from changing personnel.
Sutherland, the sole back right now. Guy throws to Sandrew on the near sideline, and a good pitch and catch, and enough for a first down as Williams Field moved the chains.
That was a heck of a catch because it was a little bit high, and Sandrew went up and made a great play on that.
He has the length, able to make it, and we see Dylan Lee check back into the game, and I think that's why it was late to get a running back out there. He has tape on that left ankle now. So Dylan Lee may have gotten a little shaken up on the previous drive, and we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, Lee does not look good. He's limping while he's running out on that route, tries to stop Barron on the block. But Dylan Lee is really favoring that left ankle, and I know he's battling to be out on the field, but he doesn't look like he has his full speed, and now he's checking back out of the game.
And, you know, like I said earlier, they've been gang tackling him all night. That's a tough position to be in, and he's getting it low, he's getting it high, and a lot of times at the same time.
Yeah, he just did not look right on that play at all. We saw him kind of jogging with a limp, going through the motions on that progression, and couldn't even really throw a block at Barron to keep Goaty Guy safe there.
If that's the case, then this is really going to be a different look offense for Williamsfield here going forward.
Yeah, certainly an uphill battle to lose someone responsible for 9 touchdowns on the season for you, and they'll look to Sutherland in the backfield, and this play stops before anything can happen. So timeout taken by Williamsfield. Yeah, and that's a big storyline coming into the second half, to not have your main guy in Dylan Lee. You don't want to stick on it too much, but after the ankle being taped off and one play in, he did not look himself.
He did not, and I'm sure they'll probably go back to it and see if they can't get him going. If he's unable to go, one of the other backs is going to have to step up, but it's definitely not going to be the same production that Lee was giving them the first few games.
And that back has been Sutherland, but he's been playing sort of the fullback role on the evening, setting up blocks in that I formation for Lee to work off of. So it's almost a question of if it'll be a pass blocking strategy where he's in the gun and just responsible for keeping Goaty Guy protected back there.
And it's still early enough in the game where I don't think they need to get one-dimensional and just start throwing the ball. I mean, it's a 2-score game. You know, drive down here and score however long it takes would very much put them back in this football game. However, not converting here and not being able to flip the field could be disastrous.
Under 8 minutes now in the third quarter, and Williamsfield take the field. So Sutherland stays in there, and we'll keep an eye on Lee. He's jogging on the sidelines right now, so seeing if he can get himself right and come back into the game. But for now, it's going to be Sutherland in the backfield, and Goaty Guy sets in to take the snap from the gun. Guy takes the draw, and he's met immediately, that time by Alfonso Gloria. First time we've called his name tonight, but a big stop. And it brings up a long 3rd down and 10 for Williamsfield.
Yeah, there were a lot of red jerseys around that football as soon as he turned to run upfield. The Red Mountain defense has been swarming tonight.
It's been a strong suit of the team all season long, and they're just hitting their stride. Good time to find it with the first game of section play. Guy back to pass, faces pressure, stands in, and he's picked off. James Krieger with the return. Down the far sideline, Krieger has room to work with, and the second pick 6 of the evening for Red Mountain. There is a flag down around the 18. We'll see if the return stands, but for now, it's 2 pick 6s for the safeties of Red Mountain.
They're going to say he stepped out at the 5, intercepted at midfield, and ran it back 45 yards. We'll check the penalty.
So the official spots the ball back at the 5-yard line, saying Krieger stepped out of bounds, but we also await what the flag is going to be.
And I didn't see, looking at the replay.
Yeah, they called a hold on the return. The official just signaled it.
I saw quite a collision there from, it looks like it's Champ Jennings there delivering a shot that kind of sprung him. It's always hard to judge from that distance on that sideline, the far sideline there, but still a great play.
Regardless, Red Mountain maintained possession, and it's been the safeties tonight playing huge for them. Logan Haney had the pick 6 early in the first half, and now James Krieger finds an interception, his first of the season.
And do we see a shot up top on a sudden change?
This is really where things could get out of hand now if Red Mountain score on this drive. This time Lopez keeps, dumps it down to Heap, who gets a full head of steam, fights through a couple tackles and tracked down. He goes out of bounds at the 12.
Yeah, that was a great play there. Some misdirection in the backfield. Able to get Heap in the ball in the flat.
It's been nice to see him get involved in the passing game tonight. 2 receptions. Didn't have anything a week ago against Westwood.
I think Red Mountain just has too many weapons in the pass game to be able to take any more than one guy away.
Heap gets it again, tries to set up a block from Gunnar Moore and gets inside the 5.
And that's crucial going forward to have him, you know, you're short, you're over the middle guy, able to make tough catches. He's a big target, physical route runner. You know, when you have Wagner and Moore to stretch the field and him underneath, it's quite a combination.
We'll see what Red Mountain go with here. Ball spotted at the 5. Still an opportunity to pick up a first down. They have Carson Moderer in at back in that heavy set personnel. Moderer gets it, breaks it to the edge, and Moderer in for the rushing touchdown.
Just some savvy running there, seeing an opening outside and scampering out there for the easy touchdown.
That's Moderer's 3rd of the season on the ground, and he's kind of the power back that they continue to bring in when they get inside the 5-yard line, and he's rewarded with the touchdown here. What a game for him, huh? Both sides of the ball making stops defensively, creating pressure, and he gets the cherry on top with a touchdown on the stat line tonight.
Some great blocks at the point of attack. He just bounces it outside, beats everybody to the end zone.
Red Mountain making a statement in this rivalry game tonight, up 26-7, and they keep the offense on the field for the extra point. Look to make it a 28-7 lead.
They just motioned their left tackle out.
Pass back looking for Heap, and he's unable to come up with it. Yeah, that was Hector Martinez, I think, that they brought over in motion. I'm not sure if he became eligible on that play, but 2-point conversion failed, so it's a 26-7 lead. You see what they're trying to do there, trying to make it a few touchdown difference in score.
So if you go to the replay here, you see Hector there. He's lined up at left tackle, and then they motion him out. And no, he can't be eligible by his number. Unlike the NFL, you can't check in as eligible. He's ineligible by wearing 77. So he's there just as a decoy, and they're trying to work the ball backside. Unable to get the completion there.
Yeah, covered well by Holden Nichols that time around on Heap, but regardless, Red Mountain extend the lead, and it's something big that they wanted back in this game. We talked about it in the open, but a season ago when they lost this game, they kind of weren't as healthy as they wanted to be, as Carter Crispin went out in that game as at quarterback and Kyle Heap stepped in. But tonight, getting the opportunity to even the series right now, Williams Field lead it 2-1, and Red Mountain on top here at home tonight.
And I think as we saw in last year's game and we're seeing tonight thus far, the team that's winning the turnover battle is winning the football game. You know, you can't win league games with turnovers. So that's the takeaway from all this.
And the turnovers become so much more important in the portion of the field where Red Mountain have created them, and also the points that have come from them. One of them, they score points on the turnover. The next one, it puts them inside the red zone on the return from the interception.
The defense has been opportunistic and all over the field tonight.
It's really the strength of this Red Mountain team, and then the offense just able to execute and protect the ball and get their job done as well. Dylan Lee back in the game, still doesn't look 100% on that left ankle. And Guy just throws this one out to his own sideline. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
In a tough situation here, you know, your go-to guy on your offense is hobbled a bit. You know, haven't been able to get much going in the passing game outside of a couple big plays. Just searching for something to click. Try to get some positive yardage.
And you're chasing down a 19-point lead for Red Mountain as well. Guy loses the snap, able to recover, and just has to escape with it. And he lost it again. So fumbled the initial snap, and then off the recovery lost it again, but a good job to recover it that time by Omar Kaba.
Heads up play by the offensive lineman to jump on that. That would have been disastrous.
And it brings up a 3rd down and long, deep in your own territory now for Williams Field.
Conference C.
13 needed for the first down here, 4:48 to go in the third quarter. Guy steps up in the pocket, goes for the sticks, and it's dropped by Trey Foster. Flag in the secondary, and it looks like a hold is being signaled by Mark Skosapik, the back judge.
I think there was some tangling there between receivers and DBs. I think it might have been Chris Castaneda.
And they do signal the hold that time around against Red Mountain. So gives another opportunity to Williams Field to pick up the first, and kind of a break they needed at this point in the game.
Yeah, that's they'll take whatever they can get at this point, some positive yardage. And now it's a manageable third down. And at this point, you know, third and less than a yard.
They have the ball spotted at the 31, where the first down marker is. So kind of confusing for them to not move the chains here if the ball's spotted right where the sticks are. Regardless, it's a give and a big gain, plenty for the first down. A nice tackle that time made by Castaneda, but there's the backup running back, Sutherland, who gets a carry and a big gain out to the 50.
And Williams Field not ready to go away just yet. They're going to keep on fighting, and a nice play there to pick up a first down. See if they can build some momentum here and put 2 or 3 together.
So despite the confusion with the chains, first down converted for Williams Field, and they give to the receiver this time in the backfield, Kersner, able to pick up a couple.
Braden Kersner on the carry, brought down by number 48, Lucas Wilson.
Kersner now a little bit slow to get up, and it's just something you don't need if you're Williams Field. Already losing your lead back in Dylan Lee, now Kersner a little hobbled. Bennett Juvie now checks into the game for Kersner. And Guy rolls to his right. Guy back across the middle, and Cameron Cook with the reception, and enough for a first down. So Williams Field not going away just yet, putting together a drive, a couple of first downs picked up.
And that was a crafty little throw there. He threw across his body late. A little bit of a dangerous throw, I think, when you're doing that sort of thing, but he was able to complete it for a first down.
Under 3.5 minutes now in the third quarter, and Williams Field driving into Red Mountain territory. From the 38, the give to Sutherland with a little hurdle. Able to work his way forward for a nice pickup, and it brings up 2nd and 3.
And Sutherland, a little different change of pace back. You know, not the shiftiness we saw from Lee, but more of a straight ahead downhill runner, having some success on this drive.
Williams Field starting to work with a little bit more tempo, and now a timeout taken by Red Mountain with 2:50 left in the third quarter, and defensive adjustments to be made with the timeout, and we'll step away and take a break. Red Mountain on top, 26-7 on RMTV. Second and 3 for Williams Field as we come out of the timeout with 2:50 left in the third quarter, and they've been driving this time around, looking to cut the lead from Red Mountain and get back in this game late. Guy play action, and he takes a deep shot, broken up with a nice defensive play made by Chayton Jennings.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play, took a good angle on the ball. That's why you have safeties, play over the top, so your corners can be more aggressive in the shorter routes, and the safeties take anything deep.
And that's the same shot that Williamsfield took where they scored on it to Sandrew as they go up-tempo now. Guy tried to keep it and get it away, and he's blasted in the backfield by the other Jennings, Champ Jennings that time.
Yeah, the brothers have arrived on the scene here. I don't know if he actually threw that ball.
Yeah, it almost looked like a fumble how it came out of his hand. I don't know if the motion was forward. But regardless, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, looking at it, I think he does manage to get it off. Yeah, it was a real quick release.
He flipped it forward. So after that hit from Jennings, Cody Guy comes out of the game, and Xavier Buckles back in at quarterbacks for this 4th down. Buckles, the out route just behind Cameron Cook, and a turnover on downs. So Red Mountain able to make a stand defensively and continue to have a stranglehold on this game.
And that's a tough spot for Buckles. He hasn't been in for at least 10, 15 minutes and come in on 4th down and say, hey, go convert this for us.
Yeah, force him to make an out route from the other hash mark towards the far sideline is kind of a tough throw to make for that 4th down conversion.
It's one of the things you always struggle with as a coach, is especially if you have multiple quarterbacks that you're trying to play, is do you just pop them in and out, by series? Do you let a guy get some confidence and, by quarter, drive by drive? It's always hard to balance.
Makes it difficult to develop a rhythm. This time around, Lamb gets the carry on 1st down, brings it out to the 39.
They've run that play a couple times tonight. It's worked well for them. They get Yost and Villalobos out there leading the way, and they're pretty athletic and doing a great job with their pulling game so far.
A pickup of 8, so 2nd down and 2 upcoming. And the Red Mountain offense continues to drive. Just under 2 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Lopez with the fake and has to avoid pressure towards his own sideline, and he picks up a couple, and it looks like enough for the 1st down depending on the spot. And just back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, try to get what he could, live to fight another day, get out of bounds.
Nice job just avoiding the sack altogether. The backside pressure coming in that time. Able to get away from everything. Third and 2, 6 seconds left on the play clock for Lopez. Gets the snap off, and Villalobos pulls, creates a hole, and Lamb able to pick up the 1st.
That was a nice little play. Call that counter tray.
If we
go to the replay here, you see the guard and tackle pull. Get the kick and the wrap. He's able to plunge through for the 1st down.
Good scheme setup. This time Castaneda gets the carry, and he's out towards the 50, but a flag comes in at the back end of the play.
Definitely in the vicinity of holding.
Back to that previous run by Lamb, though. I just love the way that they design and create those pull blocks by both Villalobos and Martinez. It's kind of, you get a full head of steam with those guys, and they can create a lot of room for Lamb to work with.
Martinez is over 300 pounds. He gets moving downhill at you. I don't know any linebackers are going to be able to take him on and stand him up.
Creates a big challenge, and Castaneda, after the big run, it gets brought back from that holding penalty. But Castaneda stays in at running back. So there's that committee look we've seen tonight with Mater, Castaneda, and Talon Lamb, with George Perkins being out. Wagner come up with it. They call it incomplete on the play. The interesting thing, too, when you break down that Red Mountain backfield is after tonight, it'll be interesting where they might not have to go to the committee anymore because they get Isaiah Savoy, the transfer from Apache Junction, and you could see him kind of carrying a heavy workload for this team.
He certainly could be in the future back mold. I'm excited to see what he can do when they get him suited up next week.
Yeah, it's something where they get a couple of those transfers, Rock Miller, Isaiah Savoy, to play next week against Highland, and they're in a nice matchup. We talked at halftime. They're playing against Chandler. They had the lead. Not sure what the update is, but there's that delayed give to Talon Lamb, enough to pick up the first down and a tough tackle. A little bit high on the far sideline, but enough to bring Lamb out of bounds, but a first down for Red Mountain.
And that play is so tough to defend because you have to defend sprint out from the quarterback, and then you're not expecting the back to scamper out there late. Let's go to the replay here. Again, you see sprint out, a handoff that you can't see. He's like a magician, and he's off and running. And it looked close to a horse collar, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit high, and the way that Lamb went down kind of looked like it, but nothing called. Regardless, it was a first down pickup for Red Mountain as they continue to work. And that looks like it's something that takes hours and hours at practice to perfect, that kind of blind handoff behind the back.
Yeah, he has to give a cradle to the ball and just kind of feel it. Yes, it takes a lot of practice to do that.
Something they've executed perfectly tonight. They've gone to it more than once, and big pickups every time they've utilized it.
Yeah, it's a great play, and it's working well for them at this point.
Right now, Red Mountain will just let the clock hit zeros as we end the third. They have a 26-7 lead. And we'll see what they can finish off in this game when we come back to the fourth quarter. But so far, it's been smooth sailing, and defensively, they've just been so stout.
Yeah, the defense has played phenomenally. Lee has been bottled up for the most part. And now he's out of the game, we think. Williamsfield has really not been able to get anything consistent going on the offensive side of the ball all night.
Yeah, it's been tough, and like you said, when you don't allow one quarterback to get a rhythm throughout the game, you've been switching between Cody Guy and Xavier Buckles in and out. The deep shot worked to Sandrew, then they ran the same exact play last time when they were close to the same area, unsuccessful. So the in-game adjustments have been there throughout the early first half as well as the halftime adjustments made by the Red Mountain defense.
Yeah, they've done a phenomenal job. They seem to be unsurprised by whatever they've seen from Williamsfield thus far, and are just playing as well as they've played all year.
A quick intermission from the third to fourth, and Red Mountain get back to taking the field as Lopez in the gun to start things with Lamb in the backfield as they look to extend the 26-7 lead on this drive. Lamb gets it on the counter look and brought down at the 41. Pickup of 3 there on first down.
Yeah, I mean, they'll take the positive yards and just keep hammering away there. I mean, the clock is their friend at this point. They want to use as much time as possible. A nice long drive, finish it with a score, and that might be it. Another free one.
Movement on the defensive front, and they call it in the neutral zone there. I think JT White, the guilty party that time around.
And that certainly changes your play call, 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 2. Now everything is an option, especially in this part of the field here. You might even see them take a shot.
They've been good with the quarterback runs on these short yardage situations. We'll see what Lopez elects to do here. Lopez steps up in the pocket, takes a shot. Gunnar Moore. Does he get it? Does he make the catch?
I think he came up with that ball. No, they're saying he hit the ground.
They call it incomplete. And Moore was doing a good job selling it. I'll be interested to see the replay on this one if he came up with it. He had to fight through the DB to come back for that ball.
Yeah, they haven't loaded. We haven't gotten that clip yet.
Yeah, Deion Rogers was in on the coverage.
Oh, here it is. Here we go.
They don't give it to him, so 4th and 2, and they do keep the offense on the field.
I can't tell.
That's hard because Moore's body is blocking the replay. No, it hit the ground. I think it bounced up into his chest.
See if we can see it on this angle.
Meanwhile, Lopez keeps and has room to work with. He busts free, and Lopez into the end zone. They go for it on 4th down, and Lopez with the keeper breaks free for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the evening. 36 yards all the way to the house.
Let's take a look at that one again here. Again, counter tray, this time for the quarterback. Weston Hancock with the big pancake block. Gotta love that.
Evans, the extra point.
Let's ISO cam on number 75 here. And watch this block that he makes here. What a finish. Great job there.
Yeah, big play to get out all the way into the secondary, find his man, and create the space for Lopez. And all the touchdowns offensively for Red Mountain have been on the ground. It's been Lopez with a 2-yard rushing touchdown, a 36-yard touchdown run, and then Carson Moderer with a 5-yard touchdown. And Red Mountain have a strong hold on this game, as it looks like this series is going to go to 2-2 between them and Williams Field.
It certainly looks that way right now, barring nothing short of a miracle. And it seems like the Red Mountain offensive line is really coming into its own at this point. You know, Gabe Romero, I think, has gotten back into the lineup tonight. He's been out with an elbow injury since the beginning of the season. And just starting to get healthy, starting to get guys eligible. Things are looking up here for Red Mountain, that's for sure.
Certainly trending in the right direction, and it's a pivotal part of your season with everything that you have coming up and the rest of this section play, because you have to go on the road back-to-back weeks to Highland and then ALA, who are 2 really tough opponents.
Yeah, those are 2 games that really go a long way in determining how this region is going to shape up and how playoff seeding is going to shape up as well.
The touchback on the kickoff. So someone else having a great night, Kai Evans. I mean, on kickoffs, been so successful, 2 for 2 on field goals and perfect on extra points. So missed last week and gets right back into the swing of things this week.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with his field goals, with his extra points, and like you said, with his kickoffs as well. Something that you take for granted until it's not working.
Yep.
You know, having a solid kicker.
Someone you can rely on, especially in those tight games when points are necessary. It doesn't matter whether it's 6 or 3. You just want to get something on the board. Having that good kicker to lean on, and Kai Evans, certainly that for Red Mountain.
Oh, boy.
Fumble on the snap, and that's back-to-back series where there's been a missed exchange on the snap. First it was in the gun. This one was under center. And Williams Field able to get back on it. So fortunate for them to be able to keep it alive, but they lose a few. Now it brings up 2nd and 13.
Well, something to think about also, every quarterback takes a snap a little differently from the center exchange there.
Yep.
So changing quarterbacks is making it tough on your center as well.
Right, and Buckles back into the game now under center, this time out of the gun. Buckles hesitates, runs back, and he's met. A flag comes in, so Jamison Wade might have gotten him a little bit high, but I'm not sure what the call would be if he didn't grab any face mask on that.
I guess they could call it illegal contact.
Yeah, up high. The final tackle made by Marquise Stevens, but I think this one's going to go in favor of Williams Field. Personal foul, yeah.
Wow. When you look at it, I mean, his arm is around his shoulder.
Yeah, there's nothing high, and the helmet doesn't really make contact up high either.
That is not a good call right there.
Wade, if anything, did a great job avoiding helmet to helmet by swinging wide and just getting his arm in there.
But I think they see the reaction from him, his head snapped back. So I think they assumed that's what happened.
A little break for Williams Field as pass completed to Trey Foster. His first reception of the evening, and a nice pickup for Foster of a first down. So a little bit of life shown with the Williams Field offense following the personal foul.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, I can understand what the ref is seeing, and it's a bang play, but yeah, when we have the luxury of replay, we can see that his arm was below the shoulder.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell with that live action, but the ball moving and the clock working against Williams Field, so they operate quickly, and a missed exchange on the handoff, blown up in the backfield, and another big play made by Jacob Red Wing. That's the second time he's gotten his nose all the way in the backfield tonight. We saw him stop the 4th down attempt when he got 5 yards deep and took down Dylan Lee, and now he'll be credited the sack on the failed handoff exchange.
He just kind of snapped him down by the jersey like he was closing the blinds on a window.
Full control on that play for Red Wing, and he stepped into a big role defensively for this team. Buckles looks to take a shot deep. Can't connect with Sandrews, and a flag flies in late. Didn't look like there was much contact over there, but it certainly looks like something that will go against Red Mountain. And the Boo Birds out now in the crowd of Red Mountain.
If we look here on the replay, I don't even see anything.
Yeah,
from either
I don't
of the
even think there was
defenders
contact with Castaneda. Castaneda was just running stride for stride with him, and it was almost one of those scenarios where you outrun your own legs,
Yeah.
and that's what made Sandrew stumble at the end of it.
And not to mention, I don't even think the ball was catchable.
Regardless, the flag goes, and now 2nd and 2 for Williams Field, and receiver slips on that one. Intended target that time around was Jaden Smith, unable to have the connection, and it brings up 3rd down and 2, where this Red Mountain defense, they've been stout in these short yardage situations on the evening.
Yeah, they have. We'll see here.
Just under 9 minutes now left in the 4th quarter, and pressure being brought off both edges, and a nice run to be able to escape that. Looked like Motter and Wade came off both the edges that time around for Red Mountain, and the run just goes right up the middle.
Yeah, and he's able to push forward again. Different kind of runner than Lee is, but he's having some success right now. His running style is effective.
Anthony Gamba slow to get up on the play in confusion as they were bringing in a reserve for him, and Gamba late to get to it, and that's where the play goes. Sandrew able to pick up the 1st down. That was good recognition that time by Xavier Buckles. So on the tackle, Gamba was slow to get up. Red Mountain was trying to sub in Chayton Jennings, and then Gamba was waving Jennings off and was late to get over to that side of the field, and it was a wide open look. Sandrew able to get the reception, pick up the 1st down.
And I think they're taking a timeout just to get everything squared away. And coaches do tell players, if you are injured, go down.
Right.
The referees will stop the game for a player down on the field. If you try to hobble off and they don't necessarily see it, you could cost your team there. So very important that if you are injured, just go down.
And everyone wants to be tough and fight another play and stay out there for their team, and that's exactly what was happening there. But ends up costing a 1st down that time around, and Williams Field will come out of the timeout with the ball at the 30-yard line and the opportunity to make some work offensively this time around and kind of get a building block to roll into with next week.
Yeah, they are showing some positive things here. I think they'll have things to build on. Granted with some help from some calls, some flags, but they're capitalizing on it, and they're in a position to score here.
Yeah, 2 tough ones on this drive, with the called personal foul with the high hit that ended up being good when we were able to see it on replay, and then the pass interference call on the far side of the field when it was just legs getting tied up or whatever it may be. And they run the ball coming out of the timeout. A nice gain that time around. Jennings get on the tackle. Yeah, that was listed as a receiver. Jaden Smith got the carry that time around. Sutherland in the backfield this time around, and that's where the ball goes. Sutherland breaks a tackle, and a big gain, and enough for a 1st down. And that time it was actually Corshawn Hill So they're cycling through the running back room now for Williamsfield. As we've seen a couple different recipients of carries. Hill that time with a nice strong run.
And perhaps there's a bit of a psychological edge to this where, you know, Red Mountain was so determined to stop Lee, and now he's out of the game. Maybe they felt like they can relax a little bit.
Fumble on the snap again for the second time this drive, and Buckles able to get it and throw it away. Nice coverage by Logan Haney, but that's the second failed exchange on a snap this drive for Williamsfield.
Yeah, that's scary. And lucky, again, that it bounces right back to him. He's able to pick it up and get the ball.
Brings up second down and goal as the Williamsfield offense looks toward the sideline for the call. 15 left on the play clock, 7:25 remaining in the fourth. Hill stays in the backfield and gets the give, and he's met immediately.
There's that gang tackling.
Yeah, big stop that time by Saddleoff. First one to get there for Red Mountain.
And step there. 1-for-1, third and goal. At the 8.
Third and goal from the 8. Williamsfield looking to put points on the board, down 33-7 here as we're close to midway through the fourth quarter. Buckles looks to pass, goes for the back shoulder, and that time broken up, nearly intercepted.
Yeah, he actually, the receiver actually had the corner beat. Buckles threw it a little bit behind him, and he was able to actually be in great position to knock the ball away there.
Yeah. Big game for Logan Haney with an interception, pass breakup that time around. Really had a good feel for the ball tonight.
Fourth down here as we've seen the Red Mountain defense stiffen up here in the red zone.
Buckles takes another shot to the end zone. That time it's good for a touchdown. Trey Foster with the reception.
So you blitz and you go man coverage, and you know the game is, can your linebackers get home before the quarterback can get the ball out? And that was not the case on that play. They were able to complete the slant there for the touchdown.
Yep, good work from Foster to just kind of get that inside leverage, make it an easy throw, pitch and catch into the end zone. And now Williamsfield trails by 20 pending the extra point. So it goes through, they're down 19 as we take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, and that was what you'd call an indie route there, where they kind of get a natural rub from the inside receiver, and the outside receiver is able to come clean at the top, stumbles a little bit, and that's all they needed to complete the pass.
Gamba just wasn't able to keep up on that route. So another touchdown, 2 through the air tonight for Williamsfield. One came from Cody Guy, one came from Xavier Buckles. That's Buckles' first passing touchdown of the season. He has a rushing touchdown, but with 6:45 remaining, it's just the question of, do they look to take the onside kick now and try and get the ball back and see what they can do?
Yeah, I think you have to. You know, if you're going to sell, you know, fighting to the end to your team, I think you have to keep your foot on the gas here and try to get the ball back. And who knows? I mean, a quick score could make it interesting. We'll see what happens here. I think Red Mountain looks like they're definitely prepared and expecting an onside kick.
Hands team out. We did see 2 weeks ago against Desert Ridge. They successfully converted an onside kick against Red Mountain. Were able to recover, drive down the field, and that one went down to the wire.
Yes, it did.
Where it was a tight finish and a defensive stand for Red Mountain to get out of that one 36-30 on the road.
And the thing that you have to remember, the ball has to go 10 yards before the kicking team can touch it.
Always an exciting scenario. There's a hard kick, goes plenty more than 10. And a good job, sure hands that time by Andrew Schmier to be able to recover that onside kick for Red Mountain.
And now you get into what they call offensively is 4-minute offense, whereas everything is slow and methodical. You want to use up as much clock as you possibly can, stay in bounds, but most importantly, you want to protect the football.
Yep, there's 6:43 to kill for Red Mountain to get out of this game with a win, up 19, 33-14. And if the result stays, they'll hand Williamsfield their first loss of the season, and they would open up 1-0 in section play. Lopez gives this time. That handoff again. Bryce Bigler has been active this evening, getting a few handoffs and able to work it to the other side of the field and just gain a couple.
Yeah, it was tough running there. It seemed like they had it sniffed out on that play. But again, it's a run, keeps the clock running.
And situational, like you mentioned, it just comes down to killing the clock and getting out with everyone as healthy as you can be and trying to move the chains a couple of times on this drive to give yourself the opportunity to end the game with the ball in your hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second down and 8, under 6 minutes, so we've made it halfway through the fourth. And Lopez throws this one back Bigler's way. Bigler sets up a couple blocks and has room to work with and gets brought down at the 38. So a nice pitch and catch, just a quick release and let Bigler do the rest.
And again, a great play call there from Coach McDaniel, having counteraction with the guard and tackle pulling and still throwing the ball to the outside. If we got the replay to come up here. If you watch the line, they're going to pull the guard and tackle. Throw it quick outside. Very tough on your linebacker there to have to play run and all of a sudden run out and catch a receiver in the flat.
Good reception too that time by Bigler. Almost a shoelace catch, going down low to get it and get up and make everything work after the catch. Big run coming out of it by Talon Lamb to have enough for a first down, gain of 10, and the chains continue to move for Red Mountain as well as the clock ticking.
Yeah, that was the definition of leg drive right there. He stayed low, kept his knees churning, and was able to pick up the first down there.
The weapon tree just continues to grow for the Red Mountain offense. I mean, early on in the year, we called a lot of Bodie Wagner and Gunnar Moore. Now tonight, you hear Preston Heap's name called a few times, Talon Lamb, and even Bryce Bigler having a nice game.
And that just makes you harder to defend going forward. If you have multiple guys that can beat you, you really have to pick your poison as far as what you're going to do defensively against this offense.
Lamb with another carry and a big chunk gain on first down.
And again, you're starting to get a feel. The offensive line is starting to come into their own a bit. They have a couple young guys playing right now, a couple sophomores in there, and they're really starting to play well. Especially Josh Lee playing center, which I think is the hardest position to play on the offensive line because you have to snap the ball and you have to set the protections and the blocking scheme. So a lot of responsibilities for that young man. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, doing wonderful tonight. Lopez has faced a decent amount of pressure, but he's been able to evade it. Lamb with another carry, cut back and open field. Good work by Lamb to evade a couple of tackles and pick up another first down and get to the 14.
And most importantly, stay in bounds.
Yep, the clock continues to roll as Red Mountain has continued this drive, and they're looking to extend the lead even more with another touchdown and get out of this one.
And this is a well-coached football team. I mean, you can tell by the way they do in situationals that they've covered all these things in practice. Coaches do a great job preparing them week to week.
Wonder if they keep it on the ground or look to take a shot at the end zone here. Single coverage at the top of the screen with Bodie Wagner. So Lamb continues to get the brunt of the work on this drive.
And I think this is a confidence builder for your offensive line and your running game. You know, you're down your starting tailback, whoever that was, and you have your backup guy who's playing really well. And your line is starting to feel themselves a little bit, and they're doing a great job. Keep running behind them.
Everything's been working well for Red Mountain. A turnover-free game for them. With 2:30 left on the clock, 10 seconds left on the play clock as Lopez goes back to the wristband.
Some confusion there from Williamsfield, it looks like.
Lopez fakes the give and rolls out. Over the middle, wide open, and Bryce Bigler. Have yourself a night, a touchdown reception for Bigler. And here comes the 40-burger for Red Mountain.
And that is one of the things that opens up your offense when you have a mobile quarterback. You know, you see Lopez out on the edge, and so your linebackers immediately think, okay, we got to stop him from turning up and running. Nobody picks up Bryce Bigler, and he gets the easy touchdown.
So Evans comes out for the extra point to make it a 40-point game for Red Mountain. And it's up and through, so 40-14. The lead for Red Mountain, coming out and making a statement to the 6A East Valley tonight.
So if you go to the replay here, you'll see the two linebackers here get caught up in the run fake, and they see Lopez out on the edge. Nobody picks up Bigler, who slides right in for the easy catch and score.
Lopez's ability to extend the play is so underrated, I feel like. Every time he faces pressure, he just knows which way to roll, the right move to make, and it allows his receivers to create space.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. You know, the coach in me, the only thing I would say is sometimes he tends to hold the ball like a loaf of bread, which makes me very nervous. But, you know, as of yet, he has held on to that football, so that's the important thing.
Protected it extremely well, and a nice night again for Simon Lopez. 2 touchdowns on the ground, and that one through the air to Bryce Bigler. And that makes touchdown pass number 8 on the season for Simon Lopez. Evans boots it away, and it'll be a touchback. So Williamsfield will have 2:16 to work with. One more drive with a chance to get some more points on the board, but tough to come by any points against this Red Mountain defense.
This is a great, I don't think Coach Enders could have asked for a better opening into league play here, to come out and play like this, especially your defense, to shut down what was a pretty proficient and prolific Williamsfield offense.
Everything kind of sets up and gets you to this point where we've talked about how much more it matters getting into those league play games in the back half of your schedule for playoff implications with seeding and everything else that comes through it. So Guy back in the game now finds Trey Foster, and Foster has had a nice night, a touchdown reception, as well as 5 catches on the evening, a pickup of 9 that time around.
And I think when you're looking at it, coming into, I mean, we're at the midway point of the regular season.
Yep.
Coming in at 4-1, you know, in a pretty good position to make some noise going forward.
The season moves really fast. I mean, it feels like just a blink of an eye, we're already here. Soon enough, me and you will be wearing sweaters instead of just polos in the booth, but it doesn't feel like we're quite there yet.
No, but it's nice not seeing triple digits on your thermometer,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Absolutely. Talking back with Red Mountain moving to 4-1 after this, how much does the weight of that game in California come in to the standings and the seeding for the playoffs? How much does that weigh in?
I think when you look at they use a very complicated formula when they determine power points. Matter of fact, I think we looked at it once. It's about 17 pages long, just the formula itself. I think losing to a quality opponent that's, I think is still playing really well over in California only helps your PowerPoint totals.
Right.
So it doesn't hurt you that badly. As well as a region champ would get an automatic seed. The way it's set up, so.
Good pass by Guy that time around. Pick it up to Trey Foster again. And now the offense starting to work with Williamsfield, but just not enough clock, 52 seconds left in the game. Upcoming for Red Mountain, we've talked about it, but a big one at Highland next week, and that's a really tough team.
Another shot at redemption, the team that eliminated them from the playoffs in the semifinal.
Sandrew with a reception and open all the way to the end zone. Touchdown for Joshua Sandrew, his second of the evening. A 44-yard touchdown reception.
And it looked like Red Mountain had swapped out their starters at this point, getting some young guys some playing time. And I'm sure they'll be covering that in film tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of the same story last week against Westwood. They had a shutout going the whole way, and then towards the end of the game, they give up a score when they had brought the starters out to kind of end the shutout, but still a comfortable enough lead where with 44 seconds, you shouldn't be too worried.
You know, that's something that's nice to talk about. No, we had a shutout, this, you know, not to get a lot of points. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's more important to get your backups quality reps and quality time on the field, because at some point they're going to have to step up and play as well.
Yeah, certainly. And you talk about it, it can come into fruition in the blink of an eye. Any injury, then it's a next man up mentality to come in and have to serve that spot. So like you say, the experience late in these games are so important.
And obviously you want you guys to play well, but tomorrow will be a teachable moment for them in film, and they'll get it corrected, and I'm sure they won't make the same mistake again.
Red Mountain now ready and set to take the kickoff this time around when Williams Field get back onto the field. But a good game put together and a good game plan, scheme, coaching, and everything from this squad. To focus and circle back now on that opponent they face next week, Highland, back-to-back state championships in 6A. So you have your work cut out for you against that team.
Absolutely. I'm sure a little bit different look. I know they lost some guys to graduation, but another well-coached football team, a solid program. It's going to be a battle.
Just week after week, ever so important to get out of things kind of healthy, keep people going, and on to the next one. So that kickoff, it stays inbounds. It looked like it almost went out, but just a touchback and enough time for Red Mountain to just be able to kneel this one away to a victory.
Yeah, I would think, I don't know how many timeouts Williams Fields had left. I don't know if they would even call them at this point.
Right, almost a gamesmanship type thing.
So, it really depends on the coach. Some coaches will not concede anything to the bitter end.
We'll see what happens here as the Red Mountain offense does take the field, and it looks like they're getting ready to set up in victory formation and just take a couple knees and get out of here with the victory. So Lopez sets in, goes down, and there's just about a second between the play clock and the game clock. So he'll have to take one more to end this one. And everyone sets up, and Williams Field, their defense waving off the bench to stay off the field because that 1 second the knee needs to be taken, and there it is. So handshakes through and through from everyone, and that final knee from Simon Lopez ends the game in a 40-21 final here for Red Mountain, and really a statement victory to come out with your first game in section play, to be able to come out with a big win over a team that's kind of had your number throughout the series year after year for the short time that Williams Field has been in 6A.
And it's a great start to league play, some redemption from last year. Everybody gets out healthy. See some new faces next week, and an even tougher opponent in Highland. So things are looking up, but the road is getting harder.
Right, and speaking of the road, we talk about back-to-back road games and then just the opponents out of section that you end the season with. You always circle that game against Hamilton with how prominent they've been in high school football throughout Arizona.
Hamilton, and then of course those people down the road to finish it out will be very interesting.
Those ones we leave unnamed. Looking at the final recap here, 40-21, the final victory for Red Mountain. I want to get a player of the game from you, but I think I have mine picked out already. Played huge on both sides of the ball. I have to give it to Carson Moderer. Created a lot of pressure defensively, working the edge, making plenty of tackles. He pretty much single-handedly forced that interception that went for a pick six to Logan Haney by creating the high throw off of the pressure, and then he gets rewarded with a 5-yard touchdown carry.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. He played phenomenal tonight. on both sides, like you said. Some savvy running, some great pressure, some great tackling in the backfield. So, yeah, 100% agree. Carson Martyr, player of the game.
Anyone else, if you had to go against the grain, or we both like Carson?
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I like that as well. So everyone will get ready to take on next week. Again, we highlight that opponent at Highland for Red Mountain. We'll be there to broadcast that one. Thanks, everyone, so much for tuning in on RMTV. 40-21 the final here, the victory for Red Mountain. They moved to 4-1 on the season, 1-0 in section play. For Chris Andriotis, I've been Zach Warhack. We appreciate you all. Have a great evening.